shifts of 8 hours each day would be the norm in order to meet the anticipated national and foreign demand for goods from Ghana as we aggressively diversify our economy and add value to our products for local consumption and for export. The 3 8-hourly shifts will place Ghana in sync with the world in order to prepare our economy to become an advanced one. Ladies and gentlemen, our competitive geographical advantage is that we are the center of the world. When America is waking up and Asia is going to bed, we are wide awake in the afternoon. This is why I established the Accra Digital Center to serve as a major hub for business process outsourcing. My administration built the National Data Center and also employed 4G technology, which specifically is providing high-speed internet today and has been a major driver of online meetings via Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp, amongst others, particularly during this COVID-19 period. We will develop 5G technology, train more computer programmers, build a knowledge-based economy where e-commerce flourishes and moves Ghana faster into the new world of smart manufacturing and digital services. After we resolved the power crisis in late 2015, my government worked very hard to create the right business environment, culminating in the World Bank declaring Ghana as being the best destination for doing business in West Africa, ahead of Nigeria and Ivory Coast. Indeed, due to our investment in the economy, Ghana was projected to achieve a growth of 8% of GDP in 2017, which was supposed to be sustained in the years to come. Predictably, the NPP administration, which came into office in 2017, inherited that growth, but could not increase or sustain the height we chalked in the economy, and in subsequent years, 2018 to 2019, recorded growth that has been below the 8% mark. There must be an end to this decline and a restoration of stability to the economy so that Ghana's citizens and working people can breathe a sigh of relief and not have their already inadequate incomes eroded further by inflationary pressures. In the last few years, I have been outlining policies that a future NDC government will implement, and the aim is to stop the steep decline in the economy, turn it around, and stabilize it. I've also shared my position on governance and institutional reforms to ensure our country is reset and built into the Ghana we all want. It is important to note that we in the NDC will not be couching propagandist slogans and passing them off as policy. We have much to learn as a country from the disaster that has unfolded before our very eyes, when sections of our population became so enamored with empty slogans and acronyms. We will focus on substantial government issues to get the job done in a no-thrills, no-frills manner. We will cut out the rigmarole and deliver realistic policies to impact our economy and our country positively. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the NDC proposes a series of transition measures to address the economic decline and set Ghana on the path to recovery. These measures include: there must be an end to this decline and a restoration of stability to the economy so that Ghana's citizens...
Comrades, it is regrettable for me to note that at such a crucial time in our nation's life, society's moral voice refused to speak up against these unfortunate developments in our democratic governance. NDC was left alone as the solitary voice seeking to hold the government accountable and speaking up for the voiceless Ghanaians. And we were often cast out as spoiled brats who were ranting just because we had lost power. Today, the chickens have come home to roost. And we are all affected. As I said, country broke, country no broke. We all know. There must be an end to this decline and a restoration of stability to the economy so that Ghana's citizens and working people can breathe a sigh of relief and not have their already inadequate incomes eroded further by inflationary pressures. In the last few years, I have been outlining policies that a future NDC government will implement, and the aim is to stop the steep decline in the economy, turn it around, and stabilize it. I've also shared my position on governance and institutional reforms to ensure our country is reset and built into the Ghana we all want. It is important to note that we in the NDC will not be couching propagandist slogans and passing them off as policy. We have much to learn as a country from the disaster that has unfolded before our very eyes when sections of our population became so enamored with empty slogans and acronyms. We will focus on substantial government issues to get the job done in a no-thrills, no-frills manner. We will cut out the rigmarole and deliver realistic policies to impact our economy and our country positively. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the NDC proposes a series of transition measures to address the economic decline and set Ghana on the path to recovery. These measures include reducing the public debt by placing a moratorium on non-concessional borrowing, actively seeking concessional financing and grants, and reviewing legislation to limit the non-core activities of some state-owned enterprises. Why must we reduce our debt obligations? Because we need to do so to create adequate fiscal space to stabilize the economy and provide social services. Comrades, it is regrettable for me to note that at such a crucial time in our nation's life, society's moral voice refused to speak up against these unfortunate developments in our democracy.
But Niameka, Matisse, Mabunu, Bebreka, bet, wasam. Ezu na Niameka ne say, enye bet nkwa aban we baya, omo de eto bebre egu Ghana for so. Na yesika sama say a ejuma nkosui ubehu wote wo store ano a na GR fo aba omo wo krokro bi yese wo deka wentua ne apam we pie ne aloke we yino aba we baya COVID levy abra COVID buy yese o yemamu show free yemamu light free ebi sansio e disappoint be gina quaint enfifi edware ye se ensio aye free ye to aba man omu ye ya ene de 1% COVID levy as some edito so enti sa taxes no enye no kwa bet enye bet nkwa bebre na ne America ne se men ka se ye be yiwe anaba ye bi we anaba ye be yiwe oso ye ba ye be adwumaden se de be ya ye be tete sa tax ni nyina so na if how na da Ghana business for no so every almost
the NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen.
Around. I don't know. I can't want now. Or he not can. Hey, that's a pon. Kwabena, that's a pon. Corona support. That's support. Anyway, all right, so that's it. We are back here from Monday to Friday. We are here to do it in our own style. And I say, I'm coming a dominant pim. Yeah, I'm joining you on Accra FM. And gradually, we are bringing the year to an end. December, anyway, or being judged a bit difficult. Ajo Kachimawuli, was Shy Hills. Richard Aqua is here from Tadi. And Tadi for December, year time war. Such said, I and I representing Ita for her. So Jacob Harmless is here with us on your Facebook page. We bet you are joining you also on your YouTube page. Citizens TV Ghana, join us live. Now is here. Says this man called Mahama is wise and is the King Solomon of our time. Yes, of course. Nana Kofi Ahin Kingsley. Welcome, Chairman Bobie Ansah, Commander. I wish for you, I wish for us, Commander, we miss you. I miss you so much. I make it to last week. There's here to Kakra. Jacob is here. The Don. I join here. Amanya Glow. And so I join here. Then we have Maunyo Freddy Akbenhevi. As usual, my brother, my soul brother. Nanodra. Salute, sir. Thank you, sir. Alex Sewovo also is here. Jamina. I join here. Dollar Fiawo. Shukura Sani Akimi. Also is here with us. Juliana Belinda Aubry is here. We have Farouk Amadou from Saudi Arabia. We have Redwan here with us. Ade Easy Kingsley. Is here Abugri Peter from Techiman. Techiman for Yachiamu Yamin Shiamo. Shiramu Bebre say more joining here. Alright, so today is Monday afternoon, and remember we are doing this from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning edition. Yeah, the Bremo Jumede with your friend the Citizen Show on Accra FM, powered by Class Media Group CMG, and this program has come to stay. The show has come to stay. We are doing it like nobody's business. Let me start with this.
Papa no ye, money grow. Papa no ye, money grow. Afia to ya, ye dini pepe. Afia to ya, ye dini pepe.
Uncle out Jesus, Uncle out Jesus, Uncle out Jesus, Uncle out Jesus.
Samia Kifali, Christmas is Sambata, Samu Tati Miwabi. Papa no ye, Bonnie grow. Papa no ye, Bonnie grow. Afia to ya,
Yawa. Oh, my mia. Let's do this. Dry is here.
Rabi Furije, Turabi Furije.
Rain and Mensa.
No,
Katura, ya baby.
Yes, Christmas.
This is Bruce Smith.
Bethlehem, Maria Mama Placat.
John Gesa.
Yes, Masia Zambe. Papa no ye. Bonnie grow. Papa
Fred Papa Bonenko Kweshianko Petuwonko Bonenko Mamunina Emma Kwaba Maybe I want to make an area. I mean, shroud onto the name troll. No, no more. We are back here. Ojaba Gabaski. My man Fanasema. Elder Sampa. Thank you so much. Production crew. And as Kwame Kwache Fit one day call him. And as to Aquaria, I keep the pande, simply pop salad. Nakra dying. Ujin Bynes here. And I say come on Elmina for Compania FM. Yamuasepa Jagban FM in Tamale. Indiana Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah, the old soldier, the old lion, the last man standing, Commander Boam. So 6 p.m. is how we do it. Join me here. Let's get ready to rumble. That's right. Let's do this.
No heading Ziza. No heading Ziza. Yesu Kristo Masia. Bethlehem. Maria Mama Mtakatifu. Yesu Masia. Papa Noye. Bonnie Crow. Papa Noye. Bonnie Crow.
Don't mind me, we know how to do it. Yamunya say na we say mo agada wa ha. Edom and pempem. Mo offices. Mo finshapa.
Papa Noye, Bonnie Crow, Papa Noye, Bonnie Crow.
What's the Ubermo, Yango, Bolt? What's the main carrier? Yeah, Aquaba.
Jesus, Uncle out Jesus, Uncle out Jesus, Uncle out Jesus.
Samia Kifali, Christmas is summertime, Samu Tati Wabi. Papa Noye, Bonnie Crow, Papa Noye, Bonnie Crow, Afia to ya.
For my Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Right aboard.
No heading Ziza. No
Baron Karim is here.
Yesu Kristo Masia.
Jerry John Taki.
Mariamo Mamtakatifu. Yes,
Aite is here.
Papa Noye. Bonnie Crow. Papa Noye. Bonnie Crow.
Me pacho ene bronya we. So uma 500 Ghana mesuwa. Ene kwa me wosi ye nipa say 10. Ene ye 10. Yen ko 10. Yen bie mu ma manfo. Wa red one Allah ibn Mumin. Talking about bundle. Dale. Yeah, me ka se mi a kire mo.
Papa Noye.
Adam.
Bonnie Crow.
Adam.
Papa Noye. Bonnie Crow.
All right, so let me say this. What Redwan La Ibn Mumin just sent me a message. And he's talking about a year bundle. Charlie, Kwame, says I better. Now, my main Kwame, me cry me refi. What are they we buy in the Makai? Would himself the MPP for no welcome. MPP for no Kwame. Say me consent to be as me nam social media ni. Ye akwaya de ya pepa me rebe wo me ho. Kwabena. Ye consent di peni a uto bo na nei. Consent ni pepa ni a uto bo na nei. Hey. Akwa bi bro for say appear. Appear. Hey. Kwame. MPP forward drew. I'm word drew. Huh. I do baby I'm go who no me screenshot it. Oh, I'm word drew. Crofona bing. Hey, bo sikeke eni mehu ya je wel cup kwa me ko wa yi no o WhatsApp no ko ena daso de consent kwa me hu wa yi no mpo. So ne any hey Kwame ama asa many where dia baba Kwame aba and that's one fatu amam. Oh, Abba, Kwame, appear. Chale, data don't turn easy. Eugene, bra. One artist, I am Manase, bra. Kwame will bet him the atoso. Eugene, say no. Say, MTN, what is the issue? What you say?
Okay, Commander, I'm taught 10 cities. I'm taught 10 cities be 2 days, NASA. Bundle mashup no. Sarah member.
Oh yeah, mashup.
Yes.
Bra. Oh yeah, mashup.
Na me be kan because you be juventina 10 CD ne. Esa no with 2 days no. Tinanka a day 10 CD ebesa.
I see. Me ba me use Wi-Fi ne sa. And so still me top 2 days na sa.
Dina just say few hours no be do fi no anajo no.
Na a clear side
and a clear no.
MTN and I say all networks.
They use MTN.
So the problem is with the MTN charges and I say all networks because Mr. Sono, me crowd say no MTN no minya signal ye.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of going to Vodafone. Almost Vodafone so crowd here. So they say
Vodafone me say oba so a
problem.
Obaye.
But okay, so MTN increase some charges, no say. How much?
MTN for increase no. But charges no there, MTN regulate or more. They're very difficult to say to toy.
No, you know. I think I couldn't follow much, but I think because the minimum first one no 5 CDs they were able to get 5 something gigabyte or whatever. Then now I reduce it to 400 or even below. That is what I've heard.
I command they won't say toy Ansah. Man go for be complain. Almost everybody.
Almost everyone is complaining. Say no all run show krana enipa 100 cry to me be jina so hwe wa chale.
Yes.
It not be easy.
Yeah, easy cry.
And which means we are also giving them money.
Yes.
And yes sir.
Yeah, ma music pa. And
no more my radio stations ne she. Yes, I said business so. Yeah, papa. Anyway, all right, thank you. But
come on, macho na ye Facebook na. Even no go for struggle pa. But yeah, then they na nyame adom. Itiminya views ni pa because of no boy didn't know. No cry no ha na waka.
Yeah.
In for struggle with the views.
But jealous can ni wo.
Can you know bia or 1 minute pe no jahwe.
Chale. Anyway, but even Moment says NC is the cause of all this, Bobie. Anyway, God says watching you guys from Bema camp. Dominic Mikado says I'm watching you live from Takrade. Erico Fosu is here. Good afternoon, Commander One. Thank you, Baron Karim. Say yeah, Chale with the struggle. Joy Atega says greetings. All right, so let me open the phone lines. Me pacho *413# Munshas Yenchongwo Kwame. 3:30 na me bobo me cheska no mesro 3:30 na me bobo. Okay, so let's talk about data bundle. Need those kind of things. You know, let's talk about mobile networks. Use. Ye ndi wo nyina ho nkomo. Omo ese mu di omo nkonkonsan mo me akeka omo nsem. I mean, if the government is not ready to help us to deal with them, you be dealing with in our own way. So let's talk about Airtel Tigo. Let's talk about your friend say Vodafone. Let's talk about MTN. Me say MTN. Chale, when you say MTN, ufa motorway no so untimi nya call. Uno bi kasa na atiko. And there are some places across the country people have been complaining, talking about it. Chale, Nanaya says she is watching me live from Cape Coast. Nanaya, thank you so much. Cape Coast for me. The Munina say. Okay, so let's do 03022088090. Tell me your experience with the various, telecos. Tell me, talk to me. Yenim komo, and area. A man for bro. Madam Dambaba, thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Aja.
Aja from Alaji Karim.
Alaji Karim yenim komo.
And Bobie I say enye better. We are checking page so we say I post videos with we out Facebook my security my page my post some page so.
Great.
So check it. We say pages we go.
Thank you.
Enye better here. First me talk 10 cities here. Me take me at least 8 days, 9 days, 7 days a week. You say what to ya on your Facebook laugh and Bobie acha so 1 hour. Ada 40 50 around now.
I see.
Yeah, I talk to for you.
So tell me, moya mobile live Yusubra Beshe no. How do you guys survive?
I na make say nye bete my na bu ya ko che una upuru ni jisu empathy elu empathy ehu anim kan empathy beti mfrema na ye problem no. Ndira bu bi won ti na no chi won ti ko to ta network be na me mboni din ko to mo wifi na me di feel say enye bete na bu yansa enye bete mk pado gude ko boka onya hwi.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so ni awule latte says please MTN nya juma ewo kaswa danchra. Emmanuel Smith says, Commander, we are dying, oh, I swear. Now, the problem is the government increasing taxes. That's all, Andrew. Now, Abu Augustine says, I like the show. All right, such says, Bobie, don't be shocked that both the NCA and its network regulatory bodies are all aware of these issues, but because of corruption and bribery, they ignore the plight of consumers. Say, NCA for the same question, I'm not audio. I'm not question, I'm not too old. Oh, yeah, call no more money towel. Obi di atwa ho nkomo no mo monitor se ode ye da yo so ode ye da yo Jimmy national security no mo tie nkrofo mpamu nkomo Jimmy. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Bobie.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm a friend with Takwadi.
Oh, talk about it for what to say.
Takwadi you better sao, Bobie.
Talk to me.
They can on you credit in this I do look and papa.
Oh.
Me data ICD. On less than 40 to 45 minutes show. MTF Muntumo show query.
Asempanyo.
Only the Bobie. Only Nanadu Banet 2024. Young Curry, Nataquad, we are ready for papa.
Now, Takradia quite no more.
Oh, Bobie, as a manhole. Manhole, the manhole for here. Man digging past
man digging hole pit gutter my cemetery grave everything.
Nina plus negative we are forced to go boom. Interview go baby calling your last day. Bosho Kojoko Medo Quatapari.
Oh, na yasi a grand contakra de any
and put the money on yen. Will be on yen.
All right, thank you. Okay, so Ghana for ye all the networks no come up. Vodafone, MTN, Airtel, Tigo, blah 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 blah. Me a problem challenge maybe because me use MTN kwa. And I mean how I use mobile phones too or numbers too. So these days me struggle papa. ABC me come Vodafone. Ebi use Vodafone crowd enya crowd. Okay, so kin Tata says commander enya is but I think Vodafone is okay. All right. Shak Tete Coban says good afternoon commander. Daniel Mensah is here. Good day, Bobie, watching you live from Kaswa Adamana. Dexon Dagadu says commander it is all the next week so baby anye. Yakubu Men says good job, Bobie, watching you live from Gabon. Alex Pinto says good afternoon, happy working hour, thank you. Hassan Watala says commander, I like your show, watching you live from Achim Oda Zongo. All right, Michia Omunina. Talk me Badasu is here with us. My soldier Ibrahim Musa says Bobie, because of the love we have for you. Entina date and yet too. Yes, Kwame, look, we should do something for 1 hour mobile, and I think it should be across board. The radio stations across Ghana, TV stations, those who run a social media programs, we should do something to appreciate those who watch us. Because, Charlie, any better? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Commander One.
Yes, sir.
Yawon Shirawo.
Ami.
This year, an affair me a match up when wow. And do
which network? Yes, sir. About me who network crowd will use you.
Monsieur MTN.
Okay.
Monsieur MTN. Match up me no. Man Casancho.
Eko.
Yeah, I the Nana Hall means me.
Oh.
Anybody, I called you more to me.
Yeah, some more.
Yeah,
some more.
According about me.
Yeah, some more.
Oh, I'm Ohio.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Jacob Tekute says Bobie, watching you live from Dubai with free Wi-Fi. Okay, so why you lucky? Solomon Brook says good afternoon, Commander. I'm watching you live from Chicago in the US of A. Bless Anyachi says salute you, sir. I think it Dagadu is here with us. Mensa John is here. Edem Obed Amonike says Bobie, there is a noise in your transmission. Please check. New boy Jefferson says, Bobie, the way I'm happy for saying and Okrekumante lost. I am a do. Oyibo says from Achuman Nerbehin, Kumasi MTN is robbing us big time. Yes, they are robbing us big time. But Obian can be my network no crying in so Vodafone a 30 go and it seems a 30 go Indian microphone pekra. I don't know why. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Bobie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
But you media me amasama. Network MTN the enye kura. Unya masha pa wo download a abetwa ne ho saa. No ajai. MTN the enye easy. U fresu a u fro bi a woni ni kasa kura. Ne tikeshi.
The omunimu ani momo.
Yes.
Just a momo ni the oye ne dem so. So or there.
Enye easy. MTN there is more problem, Papa.
Anyway,
problem.
All right, okay, thank you. So that is one for you, MTN. Enusa Abdul Ahmed, watching us live from Dubai. Also, there be an complaining data cost. All right, Ramsey says we love you, Bobie. Watching you live from Ansah Sokwa constituency. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Bobie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your family is Joe Madina Zogo.
Okay, Daddy Joe. All right, sorry. I am say, I'm not for complaining. Say, you be air cross ye. Air cross ye radio station. No, you be air cross ye. Wait, our elections, no, I want to share some me and you. Because you say, nah, I'm not sure about coffee. Sikano, my we are no NC, no. Anoche ebeye ne sesini anoche ebeye ne se de ohwe video omo nim ade nipa ekwaya nipa do ombe fa so they have no idea wakoto equipment abegu ena mo de tetan krofo why na wo mo sabe nkwasiafo se hu adaje anoche yansi foolish boys why na wo hu adaje why na wo mo hu adaje obi kodi mo ho nkomobone ye campaign etumo ewo Ghana ha ye tum woni ya gani. Hello.
Hello, Chairman Bobie.
Yes, sir.
Boko there.
Majo Sonia.
Maybe I will catch a cranny kumi no. We bold. And for 40 years on Ghana how me say MTN for one day. Now only me here.
Catch me.
O kasa abu so ni pa ne kasa be
Hi. Hi. Kwasa samsa.
We na Kofi Ankinsley. Me kasa fi awish.
And na unim de ha me. Ase aban no on fire ho. Aslo usum fire ho.
That Chairman Bobie. Omo fe so omanya ye zoo animal kingdom. Ana omu di eso. Cheze ye nyina ya abodanfo. Na mle ne be so. Me fi amanfo be dwane o Ghana ha. Chairman, oni nya menya adwuma.
All right, thank you. Ali Mama says it is our Ministry of Communication, so we have to blame them for what MTN is doing to us. Let's put the blame on the doorstep of the Ministry of Communication. You are right. You are right. Minia. Can I see you the MTN? Yes, you can. But the judge where you are going to oh, has been a boy for month to be yeah. You are poor month to be Romu Pieto, and they are 7 basun one say ya. Why not go be amount? Who go see a MTN? Our Ghana, Judge Bay. Young Grove way. One way I know I'm to way. Nothing could be. Yes, you can sue them, but will be no better be amount. Anna, that we should talk about a Ministry of Communication. But where that Ministry of Communication, when you have a very disrespectful girl like Osla way, and then you're scarce in a tibiso, or in a salam down, Satanas and Pie from your pyramid house, Nessin a bit tibiso. Because I had the Osla was in the Sia and was when you're scarce in a say, Oko can asama, not the warrior yano. The warrior yano who would send me Papa Pebby. Me who's Uncle Anna the Dana Forms and I was with the more Jimmy. Wait. But when you have a very irresponsible government led by a reckless 78-year-old man who don't care about anything like Akufo-Addo. I'm talking about Akufo-Addo. When you have such a person leading Umaya, we buy data. We don't know what happens to the data. I mean, it's just like, hello? Yes, sir. Nyami Adomoko. Lagbaja, Yango. Accra.
Wouldn't say, someone will pay home. Wouldn't son of Pian because ye transfer.
Yeah.
25 sitting shoe, and then we are just a penny in my many way. Maybe you send a message to you. Maybe Nama responded to all you be. Commander, within less than 50 minutes, not 25 sitting. Yamutu. We are.
Who you see the network?
Nipacho, I'm seeing a media free. Even you use both, you use Atatigo and Mini 9 you.
I have some more.
Baby, ya obwa. Maybe you should all my even you Vodafone, you MTN, you Atatigo, you can also see.
I some papa. I some.
I didn't say Muna about me and Namsa or no, your digital man. Nipacho. On a number see ye mamma to me ABC, the known to me near 24 economy. I got Munya, now won't be sunny. A man before the free education, not free education, Nigana Hana.
Debut, not that unti. Digital man, no crano. I cried the guitar center. On inquire fast, Besio.
Thank you. Thank you, Commander. Me Patayana what share with list to
Martin Mekacheno. All right, okay. So that's it. I come Mempeke free for BIB. So what was a man for memo last one? Okay, all right. Hello.
Hello, Commander. Mpacho Michel.
Majo Suminia.
Commander, me pacho ho. Masam no eyemi no. The kind. Me to data over the holiday no. Me to data anajo. Anajo be 11 p.m. Meto 1 gig. Meto 1 gig, you know. Within 10 meto ye na me checking me credit and credit data na.
Echo.
MTN. Me patro me bow. They tosu me, you know, the same MTN na.
Yeah.
No MTN na margin fiber. Wo me hope.
Yeah.
MTN fiber no wo me ho. Wa Jimmy Sika nsa na the fiber na ba me hope.
Wow.
Fiber not say for 2 years me. My report to a man, report to my NCA, including me data no one some NCA near who be BC.
That's crazy.
Young for no so can't Yambra Vodafone me use Vodafone business. 1 month in me internet in Yejuma. Vodafone staff bia or beba me hobia babe you may be or free me hobia me man 300.
Hey,
internet in Yejuma me bo commander me pato me send this question back. Say who use Vodafone internet router no free and na free. Na se sabi free kra na unye bimpo na wato. Vodafone no one me internet na me tia ne kan me mano me money sika. But ono router na ono dia blame no router na nye or the buy no ye mi say standard board dia no ya fa product. But
what reporter ma a standard board?
My report just say reporter inform who enfa sama mi nu ke inform who omo fa ne say kasa keke e na wo kan o ye pe no my reporter dia mo Omubeti wasam no so you omate they will see it suit rate. Obi anu obefro.
Just the more or report to the more
common.
Meba.
Asama mi nuke
the point is the more report more the more na more aduane di.
Exactly.
Because all report more no more so the akwaje kakra.
Commander, because you Uji Vodafone fiber utia more than 2,000 Ghana a month. Now at the end of the day na router say ya as a say una wo customer no na ukochi copper router inform ho say ubenye bi na wo nye bi service no so no untimi free Vodafone e wo 100 na won san kan mo MTN ube from mo sa e be ring Ansah na obi be fa obi final report Ombeka to say they will see to rate say wejuma no within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, sir, 24 hours economy, no. These two telecom companies need to be talked to because the 24 hours company away, job, no, they cannot help us. Even 10 times they can provide this service, not 24 hours.
What's your reason on that point anyway?
But
all right?
Because me person, me such one could be so for us. They say the 24 hours, so yeah, 24 hours. Are they ready to work 24 hours? Are they ready to solve our complaints for us 24 hours?
Okay, so which means
engineers.
So hold on. So which means those talking about the 24-hour economy, no, they should address communication problems also.
They need to address the telecom companies because the biggest problem.
Okay, thank you. But that's it, Michael. All right, so someone Edusi Kwabena to go the grabu such a sense as MTN is just like ECG. Their app is full of All right, so but quick one, Uncle Rex, we state of one network. We use network there, MTN.
Use MTN and Tigo.
Okay, so tell us your experience with these two networks.
I think say MTN almost data no are too expensive. Otoya says Ansah, and Tigo there is nothing to write home about. In fact, almost services no a BB or so for a very long time. Maybe only WhatsApp. I think say almost all the telcos they are taking us for granted. That is what I can.
So
say.
Between who used to Airtel, who used to MTN. Why not? The services near quick.
I think Airtel, my friends, MTN is better in terms of service. No, better to me. It's better.
Really? But the charges.
Charges ne high. The charges no so.
Than Airtel Tigo.
So in comparison, MTN charges was so far. Otoya and special data the nyekura. Otoya is Ansah. In terms of charges data the Vodafone far better.
Charges
Vodafone far better.
What about service?
Service MTN ne Vodafone at par. Nyina de enya correct cry tell to go.
But you are still using it.
Because it's my old number, my issue for a long time, and I don't want to lose that number. That is the reason. My twice you know a bit that.
But so first time out to
first time to before Ghana for better. No, better. Before mobile no Airtel Tigo, no better.
Ghana for it to
Ghana for it to na mo this harmony mana ko. Say Ghana dey won say bibia basa share dey bibia e be so bia na ase no.
All right, so we have a lawyer who just passed through and I think so aboye. Obi send me a message say obetumi asu MTN.
For
okay, so the person is struggling with service. You're only one. And I think say amount for complaining with me to data NASA.
Oh, send I remember say some few days ago, Sunday, I think messages to their customers prompting them said they are going to increase their service charges.
This year, how much to bet 2 or 3 times?
Oh my, because maybe if I'm not mistaken, I think about a week or 2 ago, I sent message in the
okay.
I think twice or so, but I'm sure my phone's a be
I see.
Or more, they members, customers say they are going to increase their service charges. So by virtue of that, you know what prompt you. And as part of it's at the same moment we say you also increase your service charges at some point. Almost
but with service,
I said so it must correspond. Say who increase your service charges in the year. So now then I must also enjoy something far better than whatever I was.
So if I'm not enjoying,
yeah. So if then they need to buckle up. That's what I say. For instance. Maybe you heard more. Yana do certain hours be and they could be a crime. Make many wow a far baby see. You do not want to send me a payment to be. I got no crack a crown and say, me try me who one son and meet me say the payment and go through. Cannot talk about a banatico. Me were near and fit by using and you know. What is it? In the only idea so much no money. But we need from the service charges in there. I'm unable to blame them too much because Sana you are taking Bana is draining yeah no I didn't move that or draining some money as maybe a company now many will be in 20 years ago you need to the same taxes
yeah
na sabita fraction even as I know
So how do you want me to survive?
So now we are dealing with two issues where if say my buying a renewal, now what is a year drain charges ne air bameswa, then give me a better service.
Oh, I know you have every right to call for better services. I know there are no two ways about that. Some Americans, once you pay more, you expect more. Say, you see too much is giving, much is always expected. It is may amount more they are in terms of my payment. Then you must also give me something better, i.e., me network, you know. Maybe I'm an MBA, I mean the system should flow and flow well. Me Airtel need to go in there. Me used to be in there. Me to make at least Vodafone there. Me about 2 lines from Vodafone, and then MTN. So I know.
But between the MTN and Vodafone, which is
it depends on where you find yourself. At some places, most of Vodafone are better. At some places, most MTN are better. So maybe I will know and a better. So me sana me hono. Ko baby wa bedua. So had the Vodafone and they're strong. And indeed, so opposite be sometimes we are now open be online check be quickly no. Sometimes we no be na Vodafone na better. But bisu we do no na Ansah. For instance, we mo Wi-Fi system yi. Yeah, we mo what do you call it? Broadband semi. And you can have there are some areas that you cannot access broadband for both MTN and Vodafone, which is bad.
All right.
Which is very bad. Until you say no more adjusting more services, I mean more service charges, you know. Then we are also expecting say areas that one can have more money say more broadband services in ruin. I mean extend it to them so that you enjoy good service from you as well. It's important.
Anyway,
yeah. Whose responsibility it is from the government side to ensure say services no more render my any kind of more GA. I mean, it.
So you are talking about the Ministry of Communication
exactly.
and the NCA,
yeah, and the NCA exactly, and they are not doing their job.
Yes.
So they are taking the citizenry for right. Oh, to I see a friend saying, you don't see any service improvement.
Now the NCA is wasting resources, our taxes, to buy equipment to monitor us.
Monitor us for what?
I don't know. What your friend say, boy, no friend say, Anoche. Who has your time? It will be say, Anoche will be no what time. Who call position? You are as useless as anything. You don't matter in Ghana affairs. Anoche who call position. You don't matter. And as to whether so be call position, crown on what transit because the shady deals at the NCA there. Who be a airtime? Boys no fraud who didn't come. It stinks. So I'm not a monitoring Ghanaians. Almost easy at the request I bring almost say they should make sure almost be cramp down on social media activities. Wabra ye babe ura election. You see. So what they are doing is say their opponents, you post and they have equipment to restrict your account. They monitor your account and almost there in Crawford national security almost 2 I don't know. Almost that and they pay them with our taxes. So they have people they restrict their social media accounts, they monitor, they determine what should go out, what should not go out. And even what I'm hearing is that they are extending it to political parties' platforms.
So they believe they will be in power forever.
Meanwhile, the ordinary Ghanaian is struggling with services. Well, let me agree that yes, I'm a government and what the taxes and as you say abameso, no problem. But the same government obetimi keep focus on those companies say on mame
good service.
Good service. You are not doing it. You are concentrating on unnecessary things, how to restrict people's account, monitor calls, yes, and all that.
So NCA regulator too. I mean, there's people.
Yes.
Until we are on regulator, and so ensure say the beneficiaries of their services are okay. And at the SBA, a year NPA, our regulatory a year fuel stations.
Yeah.
NCA, sorry, MPA for remember, I couldn't say fuel and make a girl, make a ton engine or whatever. No, a quality. in that nyefu we say be din so bi afra na say be boni bi akofra na me digu me engine mu afon na fe eja na akodum
say a goyo for issues no about with petrol for gold no almost say a bibi fra or something I don't know swat one asama
na petrol for gold na just
ba me na eka anyway
na ba me na Kwabena say on there I mean so what tikromo na what ba me asem be say na say what different planets
so one useless guy
and na me kwati BBC so say for the credit economist then never you see
if you know
he's one person that I'm just praying for the very day he will be serious in life.
What was about me is serious that
I'm praying for the day he will be serious in life because me who be you've said 1,001 things also the able free taxation to production
yeah how
one year for and then minimum there but we are issues be is
na me person me here we no adwuma okay all right so thank you live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. Let's come back to issues now. Kwabe mamenya Kawesen hwe ye best mesre Kawesen na also that's why
na ka so report ana
Kawesen ana begu President Mills animu ase ana nansen ya nkwasiafo ya omani abre jomama so te se de jomama agi wo mu bibi no Kawesen te Kasbin FM say na jomama bae onua o say jomama bae o so jomama bae de obachi ni tumu wo jano kra kwasi asa no wo Kawesen wo na ugu Mills animu ase wo ma President Mills samia okunum didi President Mills atem nyina wo Kawesen tia Kawesen wa minim ni power force Kawesen but o de mamenya sa de nwiwi Kwame Sam no fa Kwame Sam me de send you fa to your friend say data no asma ye ka no come re ye fi ade na me screenshot to ye no a say unim Kwame Sam on Facebook, one of the MPP guys, this guy Kwame Sam or say digitalization with expensive data. MPP guy Kwame Sam obia oye active on Facebook bia at least Kwame Sam, George Kwatin, Farouk, Safula Tebio Koshi, Citizen MPP. Sakrofo Obia we active on social media, Biano, you know them. Sir Obama,
SK Sapon,
PK Sapon, Fawaz na eko wia a year for Biano no UTV. Me amin ya Fawaz. Ono ko wia UTV for Biano no. Okopa mo ko tre ni mu no. So these guys, who they wouldn't even show Ghana on social media, you know them. And this is Kwame Sam for you. Not a single day, Metro dia Kwame Sam, any Sam Profuema, enemy information any. Now Kwame Sam is telling us digitalization with expensive data. So they know, the MPP people, they know at the cry you come that look, Baumia is talking nonfa. That what Baumia is talking about, it doesn't make sense to any rational human being. Why do you move down? Thank you. Why do you move down? You can't accept what Baumia is talking about. You are talking about digitalization. Then at the end of the day, I'm buying so much data, I can't get services. I'm paying so much for transferring money from one handle to another. Everything about digitalization has become so expensive. At the end of the day, you are not creating jobs. And the idea I will catch them for. Go online and access this. Go and access this. Do that. After you are telling me, let me add the Ghana idea kwa Africa. Add the yes no address to omoji anu omo address. And the first part no na business. Abi
okay so okachira wo say ukuta Ghana card abutu kwan akoma bia so
oyare
eni person na dia ko
wabodam About that
guy. So I keep saying, sir, when you nipa is say with
about them
because me nina samba akopempa.
About them
what can ye bosha was share Ghana for abamu na nipa nyina bedi ho dance.
No, but you see,
share post for airport. Yamuti.
You see,
share Muslims bosha ye
man actually. Baumia is doing that because when we say Kufuado Diaye in 2016.
Oh yeah, and you also but to us.
That's all. Yeah, that is what he's doing.
Because sometimes some be our can be some say na papa okoda no sorry ana chese bibi besi na jimbe na be catch Ghana for ana say
no on say no MPP as a political party abese magicians. Let's go to the market circle na enko trick wo fa tuntum baji kokko me Daniel chire haya he we yen say ajana 1 2 3 now tricks are bear omo de tricks are bear omo de because they won based on tricks and they have enjoyed power for 7 years based on tricks. They go back to the room and laugh at us Ghanaians ko sere Ghana for them yen na ma citizen coffee dia bufo kan say the next 20 years MPP be opposition but the next 20 years anybody who will vote for a MPP must be stoned. As you see, though violent, but homete because so when you tria say unuya ya wono Ghana ni one no na utria taxia ya no di ginani the V8 our team the air conditioning is enjoying on top credit MTN for near the adequate credit go your common coupons owia no abet trickle ono kasa na o show anim say me tricking resoma but in actual sense but for politics yeah the politics to nchanke bia nkanya no yonko ne resoma what you have seen in life the experience you have baby awura the performances stage awafro enkonfro bi da konya bi da onim baby a but because of politics what me awie sika and using that to siphon money gives him an idea that he is smarter and sharper than you and to know that can say wow kun say kwasia we na ebu mi kwasia yen sometimes listo will raise those things and it's like ebia enya kasapapa but you look at the person that how can this foolish man foolish boy consider me as so foolish and talk to me foolishly, you understand? Yeah. And that is where citizen Kovi ne bufono APA free buy no. When I say the legacy of Nada Baumia MPP, Citizen Kofi, and thank you for putting this here. Citizen Kofi, any Ghanaian who votes for the MPP in the next 20 years is a traitor and must be stoned. Period. We are not fools to be deceived, insulted, and stolen blind and still remain fools. Corporate Baumia Akufo-Addo, Ghana Web, listen and weep for yourself and your children. So that is it. And the Baumiani Ebekasa, Onya Jimmy Phobi. No asre. Ewo ni trimu thinking say we yenya Jimmy Pho because Akufo-Addo to me tricky 2016. Why can't he do it? That's all. That's it. But we will come back. But Kawesen, who Kawesen picture? Who want the picture? Okay, so you video no answer. Mesre Kawesen baby Kawesen will be ano. On tiem ye. Baba Kamara no na kofa Kawese aba. And Kawese on yani easy. Baba Kamara no omu yani easy. They won't get it easy. Minim di baba na Baba Kamara no antimi.
2010 did everything to get President Mahama elected because I was given the mandate by Honorable David Lamte of Blessed Memory.
Yeah, XYZ.
Yes, that Prof.
No, the people who are doing that. So when you are unsura, now why you win him? No buffalo. Then we do it. If you want to talk about John Mahama was Robiao. 7 years, Yatra Kroma. Obianti binye foku. Udbinye foku. If you have issues, genuine issues, bring it on board. Let's discuss it. Who can listen? And you see, they create an impression to say John Mahama te baby and obi kofa no. John Mahama the assemblyman, for God's sake. And he was able to work his way out and obey the MP. Sa idiots no a omu free and this mu akwa join a Baumia camp a woman ni abre no. None of them now go through that process. Moba NDC no. Na John Mahama also. What the MP? At the deputy minister. Ababa bedi a substantive minister. Abedi running mate. You think it's a joke? You think it's a joke? Then you wake up and you talk as if John Mahama baby. Baumia we kra yadini ba vice president a running mate na oni MPP card. Ono kra se ono na yere se omo abre. Tio. Baumia we yadini ba running mate to MPP no oni MPP card. No onya member. Ono na yere ka kire MPP fo se omo abre. Samira wonim MPP ho hwe. One ne papa no te PNC mu. Otomo ewo nima. Okoye mes Ghana kakra. By virtue of marriage, ono ka kire otimi hwe nkrofo te se alanchematen kwadwom pianim Richard anane SK buafo manu ka kire omo se ono okunu omo abre. And you guys think say as a John Mahama te baby and obi kofa ne bae na onye hwe. All right, so let's go and listen to Kawosin. You go take Kawosin. Quick one.
2012, I did everything to get President Mahama elected because I was given the mandate by Honorable David Lamte of Blessed Memory.
Yeah, XYZ.
Yes, that Prof, as a legacy for Prof, we must do everything. He was ready to spend whatever money
David Lamte
to make sure, to make sure John Mahama is elected as a legacy for President Mills. President Mills was our father, so when the order came, and then David Lamte didn't stop in the finances. Anything that he had to do, I was the one that carried it out. We did everything to get John Mahama elected. And what did he do after he sat in office? He got me arrested from the national security.
John Mahama?
Yes, and it's confiscated, ordered the seizure of everything that I had from national security. He took everything from me. John, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, he did.
We didn't hear this.
Yes, he did. I don't.
Everything you have, as in
everything
how?
I had, my car, I had my coupons, I have my everything that I had from national security. He ordered it taken away from me, and it was done.
So because of that, you hate John Mahama?
I don't hate him.
You said this is the name you don't want to hear. You just said you don't want to hear the name John Mahama.
I don't know whether it was at this station that no, I think it was on Rainbow. I think when I gave an interview and then they asked me whether he's corrupt, I don't know if John Mahama was corrupt.
Is he corrupt now?
Okay, the answer lies in the election.
Which election?
Him against Akufo-Addo. I supported Akufo-Addo against him. I campaigned and helped Akufo-Addo to unseat him.
Which election? The 2016?
2016, yes.
Oh, so you financed MPP?
I didn't finance MPP.
You campaigned in what sense?
They came to me.
You campaigned in what sense?
They came to me and they sought me out, and I helped them. I helped my friend Akufo-Addo. I did.
Oh, Akufo-Addo is your friend?
Yes, it's the president of the country. It's my friend. Yes.
So if I'm saying, are you a Cadbury member now of the NDC? It means
I can be NDC.
You are not.
No, hold on. I can be NDC and have friends in MPP. That doesn't stop me from being a Cadbury.
This idiot, Kromfo, a criminal, a thief. Kwasia Kromfo say, Kawasen. Kwasia Kromfo say, Kawasen. Kawasi we say MPP came to him and they sorted him out. Or no, they did everything to make sure John Mahama win 2012. Oh, Kawasi, look, even at the Beverly office, Kawasi was nobody. Abuase. So they walk to small boys no more radio stations no more come on 50 cities no more kasasa no more kankwasi asem no more soroko. You know 2012 I did my best to bring Uber to me the Jomama Abedi president wo ka wesen comfort sell atama se no megu ase ewo abam amamu nyina this guy ka wesen a criminal, a thief walking around atamas brewo abamu nyina ka wesen for 1 year 2 years na port and some MPP press conference bia ka wesen Yaniama left right center like I said your mama no what now na the other year atamels no aside the bia no na your mom say or confiscate me niema nyina e dey be niema me use no national security kwasi national security niema ya odia odia. And he was talking to somebody who doesn't understand anything. Kamia me busa said niema on national security odia state dia na say ya odia state dia ana say ya odia odia. The same thing with one of my brothers. Say, Oti Bangalomu, or Yusuka, and Jomama say, or Monyekano. Problem in I don't know, Uncle Rex. But the fact of the matter is that Uyusuka wa Tamel's time. Can time was to return it back. I say, Omo time Omu Yusu, then normally they call a Omo auction. You need to bring the car back. Ansah say Bema a fofra yama fofro. What could the deputy general secretary? The deputy general secretary on Yusu abaya die. Exactly. And your mama was like, look, sir, your opponents who cry again on you can't be a deputy general secretary and still use government bungalow and ade. Your mama say you Jomama asem nyinani problem ni nyinani asem ni nyinani asem ebi mfiri ba bia Jomama nim wo papa asase enu akotwa bie onim wo maame ajapade bi no akofa bi asem ni nyinani. What the deputy general secretary you can't go on using state facility. And the reason why they like a Kufado is a Kufado lawlessness. Tika Kufado bemna trap bungalow numa yusu.
No issue government vehicle.
Government fuel. Jomama and prayer massa was Yadina and Cosuntino. May I go contract Professor Jomama Kuma Tamas Regimi? In this, Tamas Abayan for personal property. Oh, boss, were no fakuntum crefra. No, I said, Chacha, no, I see about him. Jimmy, you are just a fool. You are just a fool, a big fool. And listen to this criminal, this thief car was an idiot. Say, and now, because support to, cause support to Baumia, no, we need 24 million. Go and support Baumia. Go and support Baumia, no, we need. These boys talk like 2008. Munina, Mubaton Crawford, no, near Tamils, no, Yajuma. Okay, listen, at Tamils, we knew we or Modoko said, Okran stay at the port was illegal. Yes, I'm Quasia Patapa, 7 people for do a port nibi and a Kawas Okotran, I never as a party ni boy into OBM few. The Bonissa, why? Na kufa do we support mo di boni a we kufa do we papa baba no ya we dey be papa nanka enke say interview anu busa no say 7 years down the line on my way akoyi ana say nkoyi they sorted me out just omo mauska sankrofo we unim say Kawesin Alote Jacobs and Crawford ma Tamils in your problem pa we are say omne no mo kasa om dinkwasi ade no Me amini akokwa yi do okasa bia na Atamelsa nya problem. There be Atamelsa patch. There be all solve problems. There be all solve problems. They created problems for Atamelsa. Sa me amini akokwa yi do akwane ya friend say Jimmy for no akotena PCFM no. Alotejo comes Jimmy for no. Your friend say Kawes nom Sankrofo no. They created problems for Atamelsa. Oh, look. One day, let's sit down, have a serious analysis on them. Because these are the people I worked with. We ate together. I mean, we were like a team. I mean, hey.
Let's buy gun.
Yeah, let it go. Let's move on. Most Debbie won't tell you. You won't allow it to massa.
Now, all of a sudden, why say Wakosha baby all of a sudden nothing was so facing?
Well, but them, sir, I akronfa by ne berry, and one home popo. Akronfa by no berry. You see, and sometimes it pains me, say, me probia support to no politics more. Now, some me support to NDC cry. And yet, Akufo ne Bawumia da and sit dadime. How can I support criminals and murderers? How? Look, the kind of interviews I had with Kokoyi Do on Kufado, me you be bought a mouth here, then you ask yourself, why? What is happening now? They come and tell you, Kwasia Gwan and Sanaju, none of Kwasia to be Sanaju in the womb. How? I remember when Kufado de a Baumia. Would you tie your mama said, what tie they said, dang. Just have an open mind. Yanya critical analysis. Yafan yaman good table so. Yam picking yama one by one. Yam co education sector. Yam co a friend business sector. Yam co taxes. Yam co usage of taxes. Yam co Bank of Ghana. Yam co projects, developmental projects. Yam co health sector. Yam co aviation. Go there. Go there. Let's sit down. Yanya proper discussions. What are you talking about? And they talk as if the NDC or my brethren will be any probably 6 million sympathizers. Some of you, more rising here, Deputy General Secretary, Communication Director, by the grace of God. So and that is okay. Why? What is the issue? Na jo mama no offering ni fie aba no sabita fracha mo na mo kofa no ti na ntwie achi ade ne bae anasa mo de si ponko achi anasa mo man lor fe ode mo ka yeah se ka wese num ade besi so a ade anipa obi an lose focus o but ekoya nipa do on be fa so wi ase no on be bo mo nsam on mo be they should just stay with akron for no thieves no they should just stay with them, that's all. Obi anu omuni baby akabio na mama nwie we na afi de memra me main you know your friends say mesre sa ade we unim ye per time ye di besisi industries. Or mind to say Ghana. Pencil yentimi nye. Or mind to say Ghana. Kumasi Shoe Factory is not functioning. Kia yem pabwa emma yenye bito. Or mind to say Ghana. Penwe kwame. Ye bu okruma. Lawyer, penwe ye bu okruma. Agres, un watch no pa pen we be Ghana. We
matches cry toothpick cry.
Matches toothpick. Aya you can wear some picture to man. Then yem penny for they will advocate. They are wasting time dealing with unnecessary chieftaincy matters as to who is supreme. It's so sad is so, I mean, I'm so disappointed. Now, unfortunately, we are dealing with a National House of Chiefs. They are weak. It has become a corrupt institution that they can't even deal with their own matters. The entire Mania Breno, we have a national security BNI. The only thing they care is attacking their opponents in the night, beating people, killing people. Yes, your friend is me of a kandapa, the only national security, you know, maiming people. Then they'll go to parliament and justify why they should maim, kill, attack innocent citizens. Eya nkrofo wei ena na omuka eye the late Kojoti Kata no asem ya that they are abusing the national security. They got the opportunity and Kandapano records are there. One day you be bachelor womama and maybe their kids will suffer same, and I don't think their family will complain, because they have done so much harm to society. National House of Chiefs are done a political tool. In this when him say Doma hinene otumfo adewe, when him say Sampa for also Edward Mwajim atretre ko Sampa na Sampa for twa da pa di atem. Eno me hwe video bi me hu me yam hye me enipa me enu omo so omo free Doma ena omo I think Germany or London no my video ena ba kuno aya no ho se oye Doma ni na ba kuno ya santini ena wapam ni free ni dem abegina bonte se onko wa wache ho ena obusa ne se o ada na apam na o se o ya santini a waje me krata de ya adwuma fa me magime krata nti corner police for nchuni fa nkofie mukokoti ni mo ayesem no. That is where he's traveling to. And I've seen Ashantis, some Ashantis, I mean idiots we so Londoner, they do videos to insult Doma people. And kwala the problem befia and penny for be solve no. One mom no the problem no befie. When him says here achim kotoku so for any amoti aso de see any. I have the video here. Last week and last 2 weeks. Press conference, no. Why? Why? Somewhere we yanka we should be talking about enka otum for Doma hine we I free enka mu meetings there mu shia se bema say ye krai o man yentime nya toothpick mpo enti e be ne den Doma hine say oh me was asbi da ha otum for so ke me so metumi alobe ama obi di machines aba we so metumi ai say dey say o mo bo aban so no da kru mu nyina mo adware bema yanko abankesiem akufado transe ana whichever government is there your mama why transe bema say ya de no ba bi okono oman no bunu nya adwuma esi eyese enka samre wei ena ohini wei ne yonko hini di nkomo a no abusan ke na wo krom enkola no esitrem to say bo school samunyo enye yo minua ene ye nyina yenkasa. This is the time to coordinate mo manya adwuma nye yentimi nya hwe. You are fighting about chow and toma any akunya mo bo dam. It doesn't make sense. Miwa mo ahimfu ya mo ka esremu ntokwa asam saa bepemene etuontwa ada. Why are you starting one here? ade no ye be fra mom ko ka ho asem north no you are starting one ewa ha nyansa be pa na wom enti wo do ma hene otumfo o kire bi se enkranfo anya issue a wo bia meka bi se ahensam no etete ko ba bia o mi hwe ayachim kotokufo no ahun me tie one press conference and I don't want to even play it back here. And it's very, very dangerous. I didn't know you're showing this and because more yes ama a trickle ko and kolanumu. Inti achim kotokuni shia chebinia or when you are the channel. With the slightest anger, if you dear by Juma. Sampa na nkrofo timi asese atuo enam lor kwa mu katuo hyem awia enra na dwume kwada nam say hu another video a wo so say omo no ye asantefo and they will not allow those who call themselves ebono to control them into omo no so no omo asese atuo atiasi kwam bom krakra. What are we doing? We don't have national security or picking intelligence. Say, look, are they a threat to your peace? No. We don't have it. Obakona go to an issue on chem. Achimote fufuo bia national security ni nim ho. Achimote fufuo nyina na edie. Obakwa goita hye ne mfim sei. Omo konom sa goita eseri botum na peste bonataso bitimi hwe omo sa am say eh asem kura na ejimi na yare because mentiase. But these are boys, they can't even write their names. Go to the national security, they can't even write their names. Abai sister ya na bebrenu adwane ontimi ntra kromumpo no aginani because wa me de na di nkwasi asem saa no abeye foolish person won nam krom nti aban sister ya no adwane and anu om si national security fo bi akodi di wo e friends adabraka wo ba bi mu adidi awie tua cars mintua no ma one short. And it seems like as a son ya training almost say omonye and no not obi am punish omo, they do what they want and walk away. Who am I cry today? And to be a mumwadri, Domahine, high judge. Obi Sabio Domahine, Obi and me so imitate and forward years with that. Not room for Uyobi endorsement. No, I think Kotokufu so their fa baby. Na sampa for this did nam baby. Na when we did nam baby. Na when we did nam baby. But pebe na National House of Chiefs in me issue one statement say adie na ekoso. Why? Muko meetings. National House of Chiefs muko meetings. So these things you need to discuss it indoor. Why assassini? Why na so occupy? Why the roadmap na da ho? Kwame Nkrumah chichiro man na maye. Mudi yes yakoyechi and say social media mu nyina mu adani slay kings proper slay kings and slay queens na nkwasi asem nko na mudi bapem ne National Peace Council ntimi frɛ say no ade na ekoso no ehu enti obi am pipe down enti buru ni hia santini wo London na so owu a obeda afrɛ no asantini hia buru ni e wo Holland no owu a obeda afrɛ no Sampani isi asantini obeda afre no. Hey, ne penifo na mo agimi sei. Penifo na ndi mo agimi sa no. Mo fucking man. Mo fucking man pa. Na nka mo nya ma ye nkola no yenye. Na nka mo afre ya trans say hey, yenye ne sa. Ya ni abri ye ka ye say nkoda school sam ajerega. Ayemfo da bay na National House of Chiefs akosia say ye school semi enye entibum yanka ho bibi nothing could be man kadi fufuo nkatekwai say so ma jai makre eno ma tie se ye na ntwa chacha so jimi Omuni Minsabia mu different. Black label, blue label, red label, white, apertesia, yase, ginger, krama kwate, I have madingo, and yet joy antibe, omuni minina. No more 12 school for my way, so university for no training college, nurses no, woman dia bossu, critique, buafuni, bufumpa, buafuni, bumfumpa, sa, kwasiasem. No more bois near 2 galamsey, no more bois, no more chapon pass malangas. Intina Kwame Nkrumah Rollins ebua him funo. Kiesienya politically de bianco ba kroma info what chiwo mu from asantemam ko pem bro east chiwo mu go buo mu sa prepra wo mo no ma ye din no ma ko se dem Kwame Nkrumah buo mu no mo ye din. Oh, you know, well, you know, no, Quasiasamunkwa. Ye near Juma, a Mabru near Juma, Omunya Juma, that one near break to determine who is superior. Yada yada. Obi de yada. Kwame de aka ne yemfa ngu o chena. Why? O chena no ma ye wo adwuma. Yemfa ngu. So that's it. We are back live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. Quick one. And you man be wa and so Uncle Rex is here. Bernard Mona will join us. Then we have Listo and Anakusipoku also will join us in the studio. All right. So quick one. We are dealing with. I'm coming from you about the Ajaben issues, yes, right? Okay. Yes. So we are dealing with the OSP. Issues, then we will deal with a year school reopening. But let's pick the school reopening. And OSP matters. But we will pick Nkolano school. Say Form 1 for Nabefi. Yes, somebody 4 months. Eofi. Abosome. Then we omo kone meboa no ma bada be
maybe
2 weeks time no ma be 4 days ofie
no it was spent like a week or two
no ma say ako. So the question is why the rush 2 weeks and what impact anyway Agrex yanko
me da say Kwabena me sha etiefo so nyina assembly organ ha se a edika. And say I quite say on my way muno yama partisan politics say ye bibia. It's like there are no red lines as to what any political party or any government in power can do. Say your education system, the structure itself. Time ankoladi ko school time amudi betre fie na sefo nyina we keep changing it every now and then. It says me will be first na isha no ye nyina ko school ye nim say your first term, second term, and long back.
Yeah.
Say you don't even know what is what and which is which. Bibiaye ngungunai. And I just don't understand the say. As on Maya, Sabio, ye developer, you see a developing country, a chichiro mine. And Yama Bio, as I say, to me, shielding from partisan politics and political friends say point scoring. It will be BIA. I mean, what is the sense? Say, Enkolabeko school, Akodi 2 weeks. Akola fin Oko secondary school. Okoya 2 weeks was abefi. Our betinefia. I mean, what is it? A dear Kwana is so complicated and yet to me she say Nema in such a way say the little time and Koran be do school no. On between your benefit. You know, a idea as if man I blame it on political friends say point scoring. You know, says you cry Matisse Ghana crosses say your secondary school for no or man a friend say West African examination be. Young choir what is it? So how do you check your performance against the rest of West Africa? Just because Akufo-Addo need power, they can do whatever they like. I mean, what country is this? What are we trying to do as a country? Kwabena, and near my course, my way, no, as if him na adia baumia ne Akufo-Addo ne baumia, a quayam do my way a fast no, just say, delay in 30 years back. Because I never be brewa air cost why me buy some okay na me see afem na mti odin na mehwe. Because since when? And then some ya wo ti okra okay even na himfo nsem kra since when? And aside we start Ghana. You see there is no smoke without fire. No. So many things are happening in this country. Now education say me
but it's not a subject we are discussing. I'll say Kwabena, I'm sad this afternoon. Come to Vienna and see the fight on various platforms between Ashanti and Bonos. Very sad.
Yes, sad.
What is it?
At this day and age. Yeah. I mean, how? How? You know, what the young choir sem so. Me first school sem non ton chain because school they say the oma no dey just say I don't know. Na young ko OSP.
OSP and my lawyer new school because we have some tips we will deal with it. But my busa Kwame said lawyer we will just talk to your parents. Me patch on your parents I don't call. We just want to talk to parents. Tell us your experience. The timing. Emra I deal with because lawyer we are dealing with time omudini ba out. About Friday, right? Another Thursday.
About Thursday, and I'll say, and I won't go school.
About Thursday. The phone was Friday, Saturday, Sunday to prepare. Because on the Saturday, no be any baby and ba echo. See, I'll call Boga. So I'll call Tamale, Asante Bampong, and I onim, and I loyambwa. Into whom baby I'll ban equa. Then the prospectus. Yes, sir. Now, Obatoto. Ebia raise concerns with just that, and then even the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 days, any working days. No, I can say, oh, confirm so bet me, I got that baby kakra. Then, ebinum parents need to be a man of pain. They are like, Akolane ko ene, obedi 2 weeks. Obesia baba bedi bronya. Odi bronya wie ya. Osi akoto to de mafofro. Onye akola na spending the Christmas. If I know first can be atoto ne mafofro. Now the government cannot feed in Kolano. Even fancy pem there, say your parents need to light bill. Almost JJ parents nisika. No dey to light bill because government cannot pay fancy pem electricity bills. That is the reality.
I mentioned the secondary school in Yakobi. Na adeɛ baako a esi na ebi a na bi no adwen course no say secondary school na yɛwɔ no ɛyɛ access secondary school but you need quality secondary school.
Thank you.
In the sense and then no access in the sense and then obiara no ewura mu ɛna ɛkwan hɔ sɛ na obiara nwura mu ne mum se wuwura ma pie akopa nimde ne suahunu pa na wo de apia bontene na wo pie ba akwala ne wonimde bi woni tirim ana wo bibi de ebi ni ho minim miama kola bi a wo wie bie na nu kwa boy na o ye remedials min suro nkan bi kasa me baba mu a owo primary 6 and say grade 6 e bi match ma fi a chana de of course I see yeah o bi match na chana de ko bro from ban before crime ban back na vi minga sometimes me ban to me ka bi mo go bi say na we na junior kan international na say it's serious but they are making here no crapa come quality education no on professor na o share science and math quiz no
yeah
ma no na bola read ni interview no busa na say ni opinion on secondary I mean free SHS was say I solve only one problem which is access to education but problem akwa enyi na dwo say solve a quality education abra me say ne ya ti ya kase ye nkwala ye wie secondary school na omo ye wan zo mo ko university no unu so ko do a extra na there at akwala wo secondary school
tabepe anya say they don't know anything
you go won't mean na there so obi a wo do university because the standard now one will meet here. So the lecturers are compelled to sometimes go low or go down to their level, which is not the case in the university. Because university, lecture be now rant. Oh, we are not go and read this book, go and read that book, go and do your research, go and do that. Where you? Their kind is up to you to buckle up and then meet him up. Because I'm not the brewer. Some kind as one can and you or we are Marku failure or failure. But the challenge here is that so person when you quality education, time is essence or is of essence in quality education. Yeah. Because say when you bread do when you man kwala na when you want that is one. Two, numbers. Classroom capacity. Any person say me na you go school brochire. I remember my last me LLM and then with the legal practice course at University of Law. We were only 21 in the class. Yeah. Yempono at our age that time no cry. This is somewhere 2017 as an of now you about you can say you can say 21 people in a classroom. As when ne ube secondary school mu na nkola gumu cho teacher na tradia his attention is only on those at the front row. Yeah. On pay attention to what teacher. It will banako say we are so now unimibi. So one call this week. So what it means that you know secondary school because I say ya component ya makwana ya bi no. Enyo bia na first day. Eti those days ya na ko morning as one person kwanta so because school move. As all ko into one person we don't have no. Oba twa twetwe we kire ya say ba ko na mo edika ba na abado agra. Asa na wako. And the first week of today if you na dwe ko pum fiada. And next week nyina no aye more or less Araba weeks because one more in your school ni bi no wo so mo nko for reposting ni nko na ba no wo no the possibility say wo mo nya na week na bi next week na number ba na e wo ho so what it means that your first 2 weeks no enyina no your reopening week there's nothing going to be yentimi nko chiro bi ade ho because nkola na ba wo nyina ma nwie tu wo se da ka so wo so that's it. In 2 weeks, and none of pay.
2 weeks, no more school money day.
What does me about? And none of pay. Me UTV son pay. And a parent be free about what they call it. Me and me chromachi. On Friday was say, one could do school. And yes, school in MBA and net. Of the call, I been no said about the I know they have do school. One in the background, no matter do school. The by school in MBA. Meanwhile, they have been asked to come today. So security will get to say, Obiang, so they won't go, but you know, I'm not. I'm telling you, sir.
But me about Educhum, ye yira wa ye yire no ho no. What is it?
Obi friend no. Nipa ne friend no. Anyway, private go to the can first me friend to. But you see, on a more serious note, bibia try we say, about we no eya de haphazardly. Otum ne kaya de a wo dwene ho a wonte ase. Aka 2 weeks. And I say I know so 3 weeks now. Obi okọ school bia kan. No, by 22nd which is Friday about 2 weeks next school bia makwan. School be a primary school be a
my problem is Educhum ye yire or ye yire no ho no. What is it? dear.
Almost oh, so one man kwala no tena fie no one ko December, you know mom ko January. A bit delay academic calendar. You are not serious. They are not going to teach them anything even as they are going now. And tell me my breakdown. Because they are coming home at most the watcher was school mukrano. Friday coming 2 weeks. Next school be my coin. 22nd. Because this year 25th and 26th Monday and Tuesday. So 23rd, 24th remember that said that. So what it means that by 22nd Friday next could be my coin. If you go with my Friday walk, want to watch channel the amendment and then back on there. Or some fear for about 2 weeks or more. It's in why that one thing I was being pentamon co. What I walk was I could you 10 was ever. Then now what not to say? Also can be. One more I can be you know. One more somewhere middle of March next year. But I've booked myself friend was say lawyer. Me bag girl no what obo keep school a mass school in a work keep no back. Ansah. Was say ne ba ne bedru fia. I was so dey call Kumasi St. Louis. Extra classes. But Brown say be there 500 cedis.
And how many subjects?
Say one you so not less than 5.
To tier 2,000 plus.
Can you imagine?
So does it. Enti won was say why any free education. And so the cost I mean and it's saying so for bani ya most medical quality education is not part of this policy now our mo run no. Quality ni mtina to quality am abani nti. You are compelled to go and use the banana for na our cohesion. Because of that you are going to incur more. You are going to incur more. Enti yema you see and number misaka say go YouTube. Monsieur NPP are buying better Kuganson Kwan on the secondary school life and as education in Diagro. The be a voice and so. Tell ye. Rollins pencil and as a free a teaching number from Rollins pencil the year 2000 and the secondary school quality 3 years end the year. Last batch, year 2000. Last batch for the year for 3 years course. 2001, 2, 3, but no more 2.5 years. Now we are school August. 2.5 years. Kwabena. You are telling me, man, son, when you force it to die, you are only for now. You are 3 years. What about everything? Now I'll go to 1/2. Ubenazay. And no more. And no one was a non fan of Kwabena Sandaneno. I call 4 years. Yamina, I don't know the president must buy 2009 upwards. I don't know ever restructure for front no see the proper 3 years in this. Ana when the Kwabena mo anso abaya ono so asan na nini. Na hwede atin. No no mu so. Ono mu sku imu. So fanyam san gwa ngo bi ndu. And do le kwa ano de yakure Kwabena wo fa. Satase. Do de ba kwa no de yakure no fanyam san gwa ngo bi.
Say de omo si aguma ni mu ase wo kromo ano. Say me na kwa no ma fere.
It is always any may say ya. Oh, ask him. Because me hu se bitafa to nyansa wo mu se. Obi ko school akwada no na otwe mienu aba. Me say school nuka ba trans me actually ma they can't teach them more than a week in that school. Mo so mo kono.
Orientation how
orientation me kan no eno baba. Ni nyina kire ni se ba wie se nwie no. O san ba fie by 22nd 23rd no san ba. Obakọ somewhere second week of January how be bi obakọ. Because first, second, third ni nyina no I'm sure say I'm the first and quite as I mandate me just be the second and third over be nyana o nkoye. To be component be fifth going. Almost second week of January. I feel now we san go school back. So why the rush? Kenya butreman kolega kra. Ni man kola na dusia. Me dia aduchum dia na ma aduchum ahoye me won kase kra ye. The fact that what's in America. Now we know how the Western education is like. Sabi bi na go school bi ho I don't know much about it there. The sabi because I go school Brazil you know say the Brazil system tie. Yeah, one person we do adusia be dia agro because one for adusia ni agro. And na ba ya and Mahama school still na Africa mu. Meanwhile, I wouldn't very well say in America, in the UK, and I don't know. They run what you call community schools. It means free labonia and go school or amasamai. No, it's not done that way.
Omo fa obi to no training sefi.
Oh, now they're in Bonaga. And no, I'm working. na wutan ya na mbona zawina ya do to ye no na akoyede
na akotena ho afi
yeah
omo ha idan
no sanu binum ye
kese omo ha idan man kola no
sanu binum ye yo
ese cheso
obi wonu ma ya post nu kwa no ba bi ne kwa no nza kaka na ka wa ufra sire kwa ntino wo bako board no na ka do wa ran mu abade no sini antiza wo ye keep post obi onu free far away ni mo to a distant place and that person will be going as a day student. Wow. So the parents were doing answer to board in one has no option than to go and get a private accommodation for the bano. Now baba anase ba mu a 16-15 years. What's one no 14 years kan say. Enko hand enko tram. Ah. What you tempo ni? No jano.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. All right, so quick one. Let me do this. Parents, just 5 minutes. Me pick calls. Moi, mama, echo various schools. Tell us your experience. Share your story with us. 03022088090. This is Citizen Show. Let's have a convo. Let's have a conversation. You need a home come on. Parents, me pacho parents want to pada me hede diwa
bara ana de cross to na se mentu me panda na se mo fa se ko na me se obi kamani a me jimi fresh on
ya do kwa ya djuma bu a hello
yes sir, good afternoon sir.
Good afternoon sir. Pajo say
me once in crime in near me koto until my wife na decide kwa say abran kokko so aduma
Uni one city akwato den
one city cry koto ni prospect the bia me nefi akoto wi
so okay, so which means wo dey na dey wo problem enya buying problem because you need to have money to buy prospectus for wo ma enya sir. So who should know your problem? It has nothing to do with the government.
Mr. Bobie.
Yes sir.
Semba kunso baby ami wono kula ni for bi etiko oni am film e friend say semba kula ni for mo kanu semba ngire wo en fa semu yin tuja ye be wo Ghana asemo kanu say yen twen en kita kakra omo baba mo omo ba ye be hu de na hu da Ghana ase.
All right, thank you. I think we are talking about he's talking about something different. Okay, so let's go to the main issues. Hello. Yes, sir. Okay.
Share. Nanado, the education system of
Chairman, let's talk about personal issues. Parents. Hold on. Obeko school. So hold on. Oh, meba you pursue it to her. This is the challenge. This is the problem. We are not ready to talk about.
Well, it's
please.
not about posting.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on. So we are talking about personal problems. And me mention parents. Obi say on Ontiminto ne ba prospectors. It has nothing to do with Akufo-Addo. It has nothing to do with the government. Because everything obi are talking about prospectors. Right? If free senyame ba there, obi are talking prospectors. If you are not,
what were they promised?
That they will buy them prospectus.
They were promised free.
Hold on.
And a prospectus.
Hold on. Pacho, omo promise you some more prospectus.
What were they promised? So ask the parents. Me, I don't have me bank could be that.
No. Yeah, we read it about school fees. Me name say prospectus. So MPP manifesto. If they wrote
prospectus.
Okay. More than picky callers you will come on it. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Oh, Pacho, Facha me.
Dana, ni me Madina.
Okay, Dana.
The third born echo SS. And you say it's mean to, but the time is limited because
time we ne buy no nyama egu ha no over 6,000 nyama e prospectus over 6,000 na ye company
over say 6,000
yes
hey
enti na ye ka say omo twinko enim ma ye say next year mpo anka bronya skanka ye ndi bronya na ye dia toto
Pacho, hold on. Over saying 6,000 Ghana cedis. 60 million.
Miss Quarter, dear, dear, calculate here. Over 6,000. If you're munching question, man, and I say intimate
6,000 Ghana cedis.
Third born econo. On your mampom, presec.
On your mampom, presec.
Third born econo. It's in a can. First name, sister. First name, I coin. I'm here to talk to one time. Maybe do near boy. How many days? Oh, and I get on one sooner. Wow. I'll be cast a bob was I scan 4 days. Now they are hot. Into my ear complaining. But mom will be no more matter because almost 2 weeks. Into 4 days in the my bomb one. And I only score Banny Benyan so at that time or throw BT, no. Look at all bob one.
Okay. All right. So Don Frank say they did not specifically say a free fee or tuition free education, but a free education, and it covers all. Okay, so this one is coming from Don Frank. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Commander.
Sir.
Hey, Joseph.
Yo, Joe, Yanko.
Yes, sir. The Asema Eke, Memeba, Metiashiama. They are posting out their cost.
Whoa.
Just imagine.
You're supposed to ban in solar. But when you see what?
Baby.
I see.
And other things in also, also, you did not coach to water region. So just imagine he said, better way. Hey, money and for
any other back solar, any other back coachito. Their students are answer borders. Boarding.
Aye.
And almost prospectors no to say.
And that from
how much are you paying for the prospectors?
Commander, me checking back with the no meaning I'm almost 4,000. Back with it. And you no man spending grand I mean I'm paying 8,000. Oh, I could follow my moon by this time.
2 weeks name could not be fierce. I be the bro.
No other Germany. Now about 2 weeks next one, I'm a Sunday or Marco. It's just a hell.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Tell us your story. Let's have a conversation on this matter. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bobie, afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
The patch obi friend wa man nka say ni o man nka say wi anka ba che dia na o pa che na chi on say first ya go school no ye be school a unim tam a udi be school na wa ya awonboa even say wo JSS no unim tam a udi be o de be ko SS enti before cha result ne be ba o pa fa say e boa no ho we bi a say ni wo pleko pena ya go school oda enti ni pa no Bobie o confess ka we no dia kwata pleko pena and the first year school no who JSS ya o kwata finance onim say that say o ko SS enti o papa e boa no ho a fine we Bobie wo dia
but what is Auntie Dinah from Adenta my that experience, and this is a personal experience she is sharing with us that neba on Thursday na neba out ne prospectors no kwa is around 6,000 Ghana cedis. Friday is a report here ne if no kofa prospectors no scan okofa scan
so abine ye no obi abine din ya ma ne mo di na abine upon say school no wasade pressure to awofo so fa abodie ni hu se ne amesi aka no e se eba baby se oyi ani ajopade bi na wa o se okoton e se o pese oba no school na ebo a ebi ade no edi no enu unti menyi se kan se o to ne ta ye se okoton be 55 o de hwe sa value o walu so ho per se o de ase enti eni ma aba ne ye no bi nyame ne mkwere emfa kwemu ba ko.
Okay, all right, thank you. But we are talking about personal experience here. Now, Ni Saki says, Mr. Ansah, prospectors are not sold. Years back, parents only pay for admission fees to confirm acceptance, and prospectors are given to them. Years back, Ben, how can one say me? Is it in the 2000s, in the 90s, in the 80s, or in the 70s? Which is which? Ni? All right. Hello.
Nana, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Funny, Danso, me Tracy Famsa. Adenta Famsa.
But yes, I'm part of meet you.
Bobie, me name and mammy, and I hear Shemini on me, papa, they were stream. Mommy, to study when you are awarding, it's a near and a share, Nkwalami. No, back home by a year for a grand I say, or no penino, when you are Kwalani, every school now. Or more Cape Coast. Na me wo fanfa ha
omo Cape Coast
yes na me hana aka na me ye adwumenta ya na me sene omo kana mo de show
anti me ba
Cape Coast wa
mo free Cape Coast
yes Cape Coast
okay all right
ba kunya school wa Cape Coast wa ba ku from Cape Coast ya de ne ba Mahama day school na wo fanfa ha no omo de ne ba ya day school no it's a fear to no banana come by and border no muy any day. Me so ala na me a day I make rent. A few we are not say or the action is crown a month 200 cedis. Single room a month 200 cedis or the 2 years advance. Bobie and na any panel and yama here for na I any kind of mammy fast issue into or more can say prospectors no the way I teachers no any headmasters will be counting into a national one and now general back and you know correct.
I see.
Yes, in school I decided on the prospectors are different from a Benya or Fanfrahano. It is awesome, you know correct. And you know crab back kumpu. It is something for me to me yet others as a headmaster no being BBC and I said once no more 2 foot program in any question I will follow companies or more yes or more share. Okay. School is yet to see a young man catching. And then near all banner and Kwabena and any school went to Miamba just because Camedy San is a momino and to tell your money be a honor. Ansah, Mawin, my dear, none will be yet to my port to scan out. And to tell any argument, like a man, my friend, they are saying it. After a figure all fair at Bampo. Nobody within 2 weeks, no. I just saw sign coffee and son of school news to the old discover now. Who be one day in Ponos Mamma going to Mokama Samba. You kitchen don't even sign this.
Okay, all right.
What the thing about all that is a sign money for and some are saying the about if he has stress. A more than I call Moody Christmas, you know, now Baba one. You see, Madame to be or see it in about school. Or more your Mosi and your I saw replacement system was all corner quarters at school. And he said, 1 year you and you're on the 4 2. 1 month school.
All right.
I see in your home. In the moment I time, I say in your man.
Okay. All right.
Or Moody, so or more share so.
Mate Medasminia. All right. So need to be for BB. We are back to the studio for Danity was a mass barrier education. Okay, so good afternoon, Bobie. If parents are to buy prospectus items, then how free is the program? We were told when the students are placed, all they needed to do is to walk to the school with only a school bag. Uniforms, books, and food were supposed to be free. By bag, no, can you take empty bag along? That is my worry. No, but in actual sense, nobody carries an empty bag to a place.
That's how called ordinary beko. Okay, shop boss ordinary beko. Parents be no be man ba ko school man e dan grabbing fan ko. But the question is
you no need prospect and na wo mu se toto.
No, there be parents all the enema ba ko school no. Really? You don't need to tell you.
Oh man, school Tarabia mienu. Oh man, PE clothes. Oh man, way.
The question, and no, now what can I say? Just go there free. Government will
supply. Bag no, if I could.
Crowd they man on their school. They were tricked.
What we knew in the past, and they say, okay, I call it school. Okay, ni man better trouble saman. That's boarding now. You better trunk. You be load in your mouth. Prospectus. And I'll be turning your school in here. Okay. So
that is when it was not free, no accept
no free no.
No parents no
him say obenya admission e prempe college. O de na kwa obeto ABC eno na ya tro agu krata so a broni friend prospectus a eno no school ni here mo de be ma no. Now
no na enye free.
Eno na enye free. Okay. Obi ba no say ade a enye free no. Eye free no. Enye free no.
Microphone to me nko.
Emma obi a onya opepa na nko besua ade no. Onya akwanya no.
Mpacho ade be sa.
Na ho boa enso na kwantuo nti. Prospectus yo de mana ontimi nya den enko bi.
Okay. Okay, so the MPP was specific on prospectus.
No, they mentioned a lot of things. Tuition. Na certain kwayeka, you know.
The only me person me follow kakra.
They said free in its entirety. Okay. That is what they meant by free. They didn't say free tuition or because where Kwabena when you saw manifesto no kurampo or me call 2016 no. Free SHS any manifesto name. They only said they would just
point E now or say
point E
redefine basic education to include senior high school covering vocational agricultural technical school and make it available for free on a universal basis to all Ghanaians.
So free SHS as was being trumpeted about is not in a social contract they signed with the people.
It was just a gimmick to win election.
So, what they had spoken about on radio, on platforms, rally grounds, and what have you know? And no, and ubia di jina so koto aba.
Okay, so Nana, what you understand by omono, every SHS no include prospectus.
Yes. Because what F cube means is for you to walk to the school without anything. What do I say? F cube, free compulsory universal basic education. A year enshrined in the 1992 Constitution. President Kufuor implemented no. A year free, as in the word free. And untina uko. Government school biana school atare de ma ho eno kra no na yemfa ma omo no NDC criticized John Kufuor aban. I quite remember those times na your friend is saying akoya na no ebu agumi osafmafo yeah education minister it was being discussed. What I say na sabre no emma NDC for ba aban mu no. Not just say they had to eat their humble pie by making sure that they will provide what they criticized John Kufuor's government. Say one year. And you know here, Professor Mills Crown one said I not deliberate at it. But John Mahama was very deliberate at it. Professor Mills was very deliberate at eliminating schools under trees. Excellently done. I mean, ebini obiem say afternoon shift and morning shift and afternoon shift. They eliminated that from the education.
Sir, ke wonum time ebayo.
Make basic.
Basic. Okay.
And
okay.
Okay. From class 1.
Yeah, basic.
Kindergarten, class 1 to
class 6.
JHS.
JHS, okay.
Now, Kwabena, by this statement, no, to redefine basic education to include senior high school, no, it means say
they are redefining the F
cube. F cube,
they are
no,
expanding it.
From no, sa na was a basro.
Based on what they've written.
What I say? Say F cube will be funny back keke no ko school on fa textbook on fa she de papa nto hwe ma no ko school. Now, the na Mahama no mo kano. Ana omo chese and truly Akufo-Addo has vindicated the name and the government John Mahama led. What I say? Because John Mahama told them say you could not do that. And truly they have not been able to achieve what they said in opposition.
In faces.
John Mahama said say Ansah na obetimi attain the F cube e de bema no. E was some man community day school. And they are walking to school. On got top prospectus munioma because of any bagger uniform no abai de bema no. The here is what na no osuya de. Owi aba ni fie. Community no so no because e closer no. Se feeding kra mamu a na bia e feed omo one hot meal a day kra na. E bia be lunch. Ye ma no breakfast. E be ma no lunch kra na. Eno no enye too much of embedding in the government to do. And I will say, enu na we are kenoforiata krampo na adwene mu aboto kra hunyansa ka che Akufo-Addo say minia no na adwene no enye adwuma o say ono kenoforiata obetimi kra hwe nkofo ma enu na adokufo nyansani o hwa o kaya o ka che say Akufo-Addo ye wu ye be say school no e wo say wo man kola no obi wo a they say Kwame despite ne ba kon GIS or senior higher we say no de aban si obetua obani school fees then kolo mo ko GIS no o hwe ahefa na wo so mo ko secondary school what I say so if obeko Prempeh College obeko your friend is saying Yasantoa obeko Wegehe obeko Infansipim obeko St Augustine's Absufuo no obeko ba bia Monikers no obeko a akura no bechusu Monikers a ni papa endowed to make sure so be take care of nebano and I say there be just for the political gains I will be nyantino what person was saying kwala no adia wa wonim say you have to attain that before you can provide a very quality free education, you know, infrastructure. Yet Akufo-Addo didn't turn his eye there. John Mahama dan e-blocks crampa will see 123 of them, 47 as per the records Napo say Obeshia, you know, were fully constructed and finished
and delivered.
Now, out of that, no, Kwabena me no call as enough. We who school eden yesiwa. Yesi as at the time I hear ba enough no. And na aban no consciously amafe omode nkola ko so now it had been finished. Already.
Mebo tape be actual.
It's so sad say baby I bedri no. Yeah discuss enyoma any question ke discuss because so hwe o say yawadu tume ba na mo kana asem no. Owo your friend is school be or vacation classes for America mienu. Obianim.
Yeah.
And this is somebody at least he should be abreast with the rudiments of education. Kakra. If sir unim krampo.
All right.
But bedru.
I'll come back.
And these are the same people unim Kwabena this education krampo no yes here kanya. You see the failure. Okanya ka kindergarten there. And you bebre about how many up
all right. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Quick one. Mavis Kabuke Akpanglo says, Bobie, I went to school in the 1990s and prospectus were free after gaining admission. So you are talking about the 1990s. But before a minute, Doc Akwaba.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, sir. But the answer now, quick one. Mobi send me a message which I think we need to find time and address it. Also, Bobie, ECG is destroying our appliances at Old Ashomano. Since Saturday, we have been dealing with unstable current. It drops and comes back to normal. We have made several reports for them to get it fixed, but till now it has not been fixed. All the bulbs in my house have been destroyed. Their call center number is also not connecting since morning. There are power lines that are sagging and dangerously close to metal gates, which run the risk of electrocuting almost everyone in my house who might touch the gate. Is getting serious. Okay, so when I'm done with Doc, quickly, no mercy about. But Doc, I'm talking to Dr. Samson Obed up here, senior lecturer, Department of Sociology, University of Ghana. Also, a quick 1-2 minutes intervention. Doc, quite that form.
Bobie, Michia, what here for the list one, Rex. Now me team common, and I think say now Rex ni this was trying to tell you say the free SHS, the MPP promise, no, it is not the ones they are telling us they are doing. But you can say, some of this argument started no. Or Manpeni Akufo-Addo or BBC, Emma Sakasalia or somebody Bisano about how is the costing going to be done. Who can respond?
Yeah, yeah. Me follow. Yeah.
The costing. And you see, and the point is that as list Olekano, they create an impression say or move back physicians no. All you need is to just take your child to the school. Now I go school. Who can say omu start a deal no? Ya man for omu share school career. E the job was to motiso. E the tunyumo kromo abubi. Okay. Just because the impression being created was that your mama progressively phrases. We says oh dear, yema in Kolani yentiomu tuition. Any borders no muntiawe. Who say the uba? All the child needs to do is to just go to school. And to know some of my mom for can we see the point we are saying is that you don't just place students in a school within a week and the next day they are supposed to go to school. Now I'm spending 3 weeks for school. Now I go for December 21st. Now that goes to January. But you see, the problem is that the quality as and the rest is out. Obi Kayano. Obi, I can tell you so the event I'm discussing. You know that the first graduate of Mama University they affected academic performance. For the first time in the West of Ghana, they have reduced their GPA to 1.0. Minimum school 2000. Unya 1.5 and Okofi. You see, I know if they are about 1.0, will be if I tell you the number of students who cannot make 1.0, it is sad. Just because your man Kolanu course for just 3 weeks now, now I tell you 4 months. It's not something can be. It's a serious thing that I'm surprised that Educational Minister Watsana Brochi for so many years does not see what we are talking about. So I will forward, Christmas here, but this economy I had, I don't know if I can say, it's okay at 1,000 crore. Only the auditor. No, I can say, me, mammy, my never be banya, a friend saying, St. Augustine. And we are asking the person to buy the prospectus and go to school today, just last normal independent placement. In that some better mechanism will be, it is a promise the NPP gave us. Almost can say, physicians, no bar, you are just going to school without paying anything. So today, if parents are complaining about prospectus, will be, Omodika.
No, but Doc, so Doc so catch him say MVP for can say enkolaba school free even prospectus the government should provide. Is that what you are telling
me? I went to Mauli School in 1996. Me call secondary school, me to chobos, to Gary, to Nieme Kumani. If you need to go school at least your parents have a role. Who can some Pastor Mental Tablet Kaya, every year is the kind of radio group I can say. So, this over my dear Fabisa. Because on your man,
no question, I'm beside you now. Oh, yeah, no, me say.
I'm saying, say, yes, you name say, your co squad, your top prospectus. But they told the whole world that, that's the point you're making.
No, can any one point and now furnish us that look? They told parents that mon top prospectus.
Bobie, and I'm giving examples of how their propagandists and people, even that program before organized here, amount for share school uniform.
Okay. So which means, Doc, you only okay, yeah, inference.
Bobie, it's not inference we are doing, Bobie. As Mr. is saying, Nipa no, see, that's a deception they created to win power. If you come to power of deception, the people must hold you accountable, Bobie. And people believe these lies is told and says Mahama is incompetent because we're progressive. So today, I know the people say, man can't say member among for professors. But also people on gene to say or control. Why do we try to make the person look good? That's the point you are making. because what can President Kufo or can say Ghana for must be talk Ghana on the Bibia or by no council meet your position or apologize to the people of Ghana. But these people are not like that. They are not willing to apologize. So they are still living the deception that people are going to school. The parents can say, "We see me got up prosperity because I went to Maoli school in '96. So many talk job was them mommy. Me the Gary Bibia because I know that was the responsibility of my parents. But so who better catch them say from a neck on me, Baba school on to your sheet, on to your body fee, on to your Bibia. Then you have to live up to the expectation. Don't mean ya catch and so maybe yes and I make kind of that my own to me to know obedience. But I get the points are coming, but let's also make sure that the people we are dealing with are not people who are truthful. All
right. Okay. Thank you. Let's wait. That's it. My memory back. On this matter.
Kwabena.
Aja.
Brofo kasa. Ye kasa free. As you say. Oman kasa free tuition.
Yes, Obi Sunday.
MPP an kasa free tuition. And now man kasa free school fees. Obviously, free education. Free education. Free education means free education. That is what they parroted. And that is what people, what was their justification? Almost say, enkorfo bebre, omo ye hiafo ntino, omo man to me enya education. And that is the reason why, I say, omo man ye free, said, oh, here ni babia betu yakobi. That was the justification. And na man hiafo bebre, asabe bebre beka say nya kufu adwa ka me background me anko secondary school. Didn't you hear all these things? To the extent to say, say, ebeye to say, sabi free means free. Eti adia na ekoso no. They deceived the general population. Look, abaya wa best say education. Kwata. Eye kufu adwa abaya. And then funny ho, because their motive was a political one. Akwabena before they started secondary school, no, not just when 13-14. So what you say? It is that time now. Just enter so very secondary school now. We know not 18 years as no kotoaba. Oh, and I call free and tell them to mind people. That was their motive. It was not about quality. Right now, let me tell you, a good say a friend say, Dr. Naka say a friend say, even university crowd, or reduce you, or more, a friend say standards. And it is true. Because right now, it is garbage in, garbage out. People don't go to school in this country to go and get friends, knowledge or true education. They just go and find a way to pass exams and just get out.
Okay. Messi about make Ghana for CMG Sika Achedie. William Aziklu says, yeah, Uncle Rex, you are right. Would Edu says Rex is spot on. Me pacho CMG Sika Achedie Jumedie no. Ma menchire mu bibia. Amanfo bedi bronya you. Pa. Hello. Onia, your friend say?
Your friend Martin Dosu.
Martin Dosu upacho o hefa sa.
Mi wo
Kaswa
in Sania.
Hey, December as wa shall see ye.
Bobie adema tu sa o.
Sa?
Ma tu sa be West ni bia na ma me la no say. E mi tu lu ba ko ba ko mi tu bom.
Why? Hey. Why the man line? Why the man line? Oh, see a boys to having a man line and set on one wine and two. $500 a farmer.
500 are far packling.
Boko. Boko. Yeah, that's it. Unim, oh, the entire ye encourage mu say munchano.
Yeah.
Unim ada, I want you about supanya, maybe be quiet.
Yes.
on say at least when we said this week dear they are within 3 days video when you be at the sort on yama would like to be able to gas yasa what do you say so then so we chop Monday Tuesday Wednesday Thursday Friday more you know you gather money na ya bonanza kese ya na would 1,000 2,000 a dem pow so aha congrats CMG scratch there me pacho Kwame and me check near man pow star 413 hash star 413 hash mo anya ntem me pon na mo kasa na Kwabena eni Kwabena ene sei me watama onwe owura mu na pa edem wo anya ntem Kwame me so for numbers no gu machine mu ame within the next 5 minutes me blocking crop for Kwame for numbers no gu machine mu ame na monye and I mean for 30 minutes been to so me mbia mu man crop for na 30 minutes omfa ntwam numbers ne ba de fagum one ma wo number ama o phone number na amantem a we find it difficult and Kwabena yenye a honor problem no no Fix My Right Company limited na wo de baby a obia no just type Fix My Right Company Limited sie mika abamien ai adia a omo ye ne say car enya accident omo ye expect car no baba besuo no that said ye yaye efri broni nsa no ade aba besuo engine tuning overhauling body works oven spraying air condition services upholstery works obi wura kan mo bo se kai kan mu tija mu ofe electrical works o bin automatic gearbox repairs number 1 Ghana obia ni ho wo the machine si o kan no so no ma detect fault no wo the si so na ayaba ana wafre company ni ofre company no se company no mra mefa wo ka ankoye ma no o mo se ne wo ato fabre Fix My Right Company Limited wo mo de towing car ba ufie baby aka na say ni afa car no nom de ko that is a year Fix My Right Company omo towing services no e free sir can you won't be otimi ma a specifics then you know say you are dealing with a correct company. Toyota, Nissan, BMW, Hyundai, VW, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, Ford, trucks, buses, almost specialties ninye. Enye. So okay no ni sa categories we man farmer ho. When no ma bin so wo se nipa na ka na kure na akere wo enye kokoko aduro ba ko aduro yi esa nantini esa kotodwe esa dompem wuntrim wo akiri bremo Fix My Right Company Limited to amount specifics so okra Toyota car, Nissan, BMW, VW, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, Ford, trucks, buses. Was so yet a Benjamin ni se be a doctor, nurse, banker. We need time I would do can beba. Fre, omeba befa, almost service, no more side ya bro. Ya no, omon charge you extra. Omon charge you extra. O can baby a says biano, omeba baby to free Eddie amount. Umpewe. Opede na Fix My Right Company Limited ese say wo damage car na so ton ye no so moton ombesiesi car na nam kruma hu anu ani abre wo mo ya de pa ana afen sukura no o ka bia si garage asiwa ache wo bese oton ye no so omo eye ho adwuma quick cash pau una akro one more a year academy, Accra Academy School. So one more to Accra Academy School no so. Odoko police quarters. Mo amunimono. Bonso omo wo ekwa no so wa. Article Johnson Obengoyo filling station no. Article Johnson so Obengoyo filling station no. From a year 0540 0540 556020 me boso 0540 556020 watch and no more 002 020 222 760 you know so ofra edem kwam website www.fixmyride.ghana.com o bona wa nya omo a pacho be ukuru me film microphone yanim me bo achede efo no se sia se wanya kwa bi aka many minutes no close machine no aka 20 minutes star 413 hash make a star 413 hash na make a Wango energy drink. Wango energy drink. Oh la la. Ahwani wom. Wajima chini. Me be ma bia ma wonu ma adwuma obe yo no. Ube hunu se bibi wo ho. Ai, Wango energy drink wasam na ya ka kire Ghana fo. Wasimo no wangwe. Ahwade na abayi o. Mo ya adwumaden adwumaso na wanu Wango wo ba den. Wa bre wo dia ne Wango. Ube ya adwuma sesebo no. Na Wango no ano ube se tiger symbol, tiger wada ho tiger da ho no abai na num na ne sin ni wa yi ni mo re no sa wode ni bi na ono Wango abenya ai sa wode no abia na no Wango obenya obi busam sa adwuma benya adwuma na me no mi anu nyina ye no a you don't know. Small boy, you don't know that thing, and I'm showing you that thing. He said that thing. I said, small boy, you don't know that thing. I'm showing you. Wow, what must I die here? And we are in draw. What dear flow a year Wango energy drink here. Vitamins B3, B5, B6, B12. I said, my be. Ubobo, Trumrika, ya Jumadin. Wango energy drink. And we be na fia nkwada no manya hoden a o bo adwuma fra no pakos me anwumre a 24-hour energy drink ai a 24-hour economy no ye ka 24-hour economy o si 24-hour Wango energy drink poti se boda ho ai adwuma no ho so ntimi nya no betimi aya mo mafere. All right, so quick one, let me do this na me mama for nhwade bi yanko tie eye education minister we ewo parliament about enkorano school omo bie ne ne eni ni nyansa explanation dia maye wisdom, yes, educhum wa kasa nyansam e dia kire ye nyina.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to make this statement on the reporting date of 2023-2024 academic year. Mr. Speaker, after many months of stakeholder engagement, including engagement with teacher unions, the management of Ghana Education Service released the 2023-2024 academic calendar on October 24, 2023. Subsequently, the calendar was published in the Daily Graphic on November 1st, 2023, and stipulated the reporting date for the first years as December 4th, 2023. The design of the calendar is part of the GES management's effort to bring back the pre-COVID academic calendar. Thus, the first-year students are expected to report to school to start the 2023-2024 academic year on December 4th, 2023, as published more than 1 month ago. Mr. Speaker, the reopening of the 2023-2024 academic year on December 4th, 2023 compares favorably to last year's reopening. Even though the time between the release of placement and reporting to school appears to be similar, that placement released last year was February 15th, and the first year's reported on February 20th, 5 days. And this year, it has been released. It was released on November 28th, and first years are reporting on December 4th, 6 days. Mr. Speaker, a couple of initiatives this year have made it more convenient for students and parents to prepare for school opening. As at the time of placement release, 477,772 candidates, representing 81.56% of the students who qualified for placement, were automatically placed, compared to last year's 372,780, representing 69.24%. So when the placement was released, only less than 19% had to go on the portal and look for a school this year. Last year, it was 30% plus that had to go and look for their own schools because they did not have a match. Mr. Speaker, given that over 81% of candidates were automatically placed based on their choices, it cannot be said that a lot of placements are yet to be remedied because some candidates have been placed outside the regions they reside, as stated by my good friend, the honorary member of Akachi North and the ranking member of the Education Select Committee. In addition, Mr. Speaker, for the first time, the Ministry of Education, with its relevant agencies and stakeholders, developed a national harmonized prospectus for all senior high school and TVET students. And the same was published in the Daily Graphic on November 15th, 2023. The purpose of the publication was, among other things, to give parents ample time to buy the prospectus items and get their works ready for school on December 4th, 2023. Mr. Speaker, before this harmonized prospectus was designed, schools had their own different prospectus, and parents were spending a lot of money buying the same items. What we did differently here this time around is that we look at all the items that are needed at the school, broke them into categories, category A, B, and C. So if you happen to fall within category A when you print your placement, the items you are buying is different from the students in the same school who were in category B. That way, if it's brooms, not every student brings a broom. If it's a hoe, not every student brings buckets. Not every student brings a bucket. We were able to use it to cut down the items that are carried to school year on and year on, as we have witnessed and we have all complained about, which in a sense then reduces the cost of buying prospectus and getting. Mr. Speaker, since the introduction of the double track calendar in 2018, a lot of teaching and non-teaching staff have been employed to lessen the workloads in our schools. As a matter of fact, the majority of teachers are only at post when a particular track is in session. So, Mr. Speaker, it cannot be true that all teachers have never had any rest since the double track was introduced, as alluded to by my honorable colleague. So, the headmasters and management of our schools have been advised to schedule staff within tracks to avoid staff working all year round. And our reports indicates that from the headmasters themselves, that for the most part, most teachers are teaching within their tracks. And therefore, when track A or when their track is on vacation, they are also on vacation. Mr. Speaker, the schools are expected to begin registration and orientation of students from December 4th, 2023. Per the academic calendar, there will be a Christmas break on December 21st, 2023, and academic year resumes on January 3, 2024, till March 5th, 2024, for the first semester of the 2023 academic year. When these timelines are strictly followed, the contact hours will be duly achieved, and our quest to get back to the pre-COVID academic calendar will be on track. Last year, school opened in February for first-year students. This year, we are opening in December, which gives us the opportunity to then open October or September, and therefore go back to the pre-COVID calendar as we all are envisaging. Mr. Speaker, using this calendar, we'll go back to the pre-COVID calendar. And this will not throw off our academic calendar. Mr. Speaker, your wise counsel is deeply appreciated. Nobody wants to put a burden and put any pressure on parents, but we put measures in place compared to what we did last year, so that we lessen the burden on parents, giving them advance notice about prospectus, making sure prospectus items are the same across the country, making sure every student is not bringing the same thing to school we thought was the right thing to do. And our goal was to make sure we lessen the load on parents. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to make this statement on the reporting date of.
Agaben, Akwaba, Benny, Yanusui.
Papa, my Joso.
Bokore.
So, what you and Casa say, Untimin Casa Boko and Yaboko.
All right. We are making Casacran, my ceremonies at time. Comomians are moving at time, dear yet. When you answer Nino Hujuma.
My tea away from the Minister
Pachoyanko
of Education. I trace Yabregu. Yabregu, papa. Was what you know? Among the reopening into ASA and Corano Monco School and say utie na 19% na omoda so amonye placement no omontwen emma omonye placement Ansah na omobekọ akofa prospectus ana omokọ akoto ba woka prospectus asem no say we say you send the prospectus out to parents. Which parent and which school and onim say obano eba abeko school now ba abeko no so onim krampa oba be ye day student ana oba be ye boarding student one chire mu na say oba be ye boarding na o categorize no category A even before our results no beba no. How do I determine say me ba no or a category A B C or F category?
So he's even lying.
But parliament no okoye and I say nka omuso omun bisa nsem meaning say after this presentation so omu bisa nsema and the conclusions that they reach. But in sema ye can say there are many people who have been wrongly placed. Obetimi aka say why placement, but some omo am place no omo appropriately. Me hene eno ameko ni fie ono wa wo ni ma. They have from scratch a training in mano in such a way that we ukakoye arts, we ukakoye science, we ukakoye business, we ukakoye say otiase. And the kids have learned and groomed themselves into last 2 years. Bako ekoye arts. This year school na bako echusi okoye on science no. More than akoto arts bio. They are still trying to resolve that issue. Into among resolve here. Right? Bakusu waha, I say uncle ye your friend saying, is it home science? Home science. Economics. Home economics. And you went and placed the person in a business class. prospectus for a home economics student is different from a prospectus from an art student. Because home economics, I say unto chancy, unto way, and kaho. So, inti se mu ba be reverse na oko home economics na. This say waba na waji different list of items na I say on top. And na me wa mami bia. I don't know how she got my number. Wa frame. Or see otong nyama ewo odona. Or ye bidie adwuma. Na omo ama ne ba admission ne ni age. Omo ma na admission ewo Apam Secondary School day student. Apam wo he? In the central region.
Yeah.
Ma me na order kiosk mu eto ni bidie ewo odona no. Mo ma ne ba admission as a day student in Apam Secondary School. And I'm sure many of such stories will come.
Oh yeah.
Inti ma me ne ka kire me say Mr. Mona, wo placement no mintimi enya hwemfa ho. Because to buy prospectus no nkrampo no aye din ama me. Ena mo san ede me ba na akoto day school yi. Me ko pedan enhan ewo Apam emma no na onko school. Nka mo ye no day student krampo ewo Accra baby a. Nka me pe. Obetimi akọ na abada kios no. So there are many genuine cases. Say we should look at it. But me dear minister no, it even makes me more weaker. Because minister in Matese was school, on Ankasa was school. The United States of America. What is school? Now, say
he's running he's running a vacation class in a government institution.
And the name will be no catch me say minister no school, whatever school it is. But obi a wako school, maybe O levels, A levels. Oh, the admission deliberately they give you 2 to 3 months after the release of your results and the offer of admission. Make a school ewa Germany. After I got the admission, I had about 2-3 months before I could accept the admission. Adentia, because omunim say omuma admission new year, it comes with some cost. Enti untimi ntinase say I'm prepared. Afe na oba be hwe cost no obetimi etua. Say untimi ntua kwan ben so na obefa na wako resist asika no. So you give people time. Ye wo awufo bebre a omo wo Ghana ha. Evidently.
But even your time, it was free.
Me say evidently no. They cannot pay. Oka says free SHS no. Free SHS sema oka no. Trunk na anacho bus na akwara no ediko school no. Enu si ye free ana. School mattress na okwa koto no. Enu si ye free ana. What you say? School uniform no eye free. Iron eye free. The many things that you finish, 2-3 years ago, I made Babako school. No, we spent in excess of 8,000 Ghana cedis buying prospectus. See, I mean, how much you need to buy the prospectus? Because of course, St. Peter's in Kwetia. Listen now, no, you spend about 8,000 more. Say Obeko. That's prospectus in Kwa. Inte se na me no ekasei. I don't know how much it will cost because I've not gone to the market to check the cost of a student mattress. I've not gone to check the cost of the chop boss. May anko check the cost of the various items and sana you give the person your friend soakings. What do you say? So if you are looking for somebody to cough out 5,000 to 10,000
by way of information, in 2017 when the thing began, this a quotation from a parent who expressed some misgiving or say even the near just say when you're free SHS no free admission in no money. I'll say meanwhile some of the continuing students okay let me just go. A list of the items is too much. If the program is free, please let us enjoy it rather than to give us so many items to buy. The items will cost more than 500 cedis as at that time. 2017. 500 cedis. As at that time, na omo parents no omo worry pa before was I don't know cry ne boy a bear 400 Ghana cedis ne boy and I appreciate it by 500 no, and they were complaining. So just oppose that with today.
And you see
the inflation.
You need between 5 to 10,000 in my estimation. Because student
from 2017 to now.
Yes. So evidently
from 500
and that is one. Omo amunti mi entua abia na o hwehwe Uncle Rex number say uncle me ba eko school. Enti say ni say obetimi aboa me. Now be a 1,000 be 500. They will do this collection to support their children. No, you telling them that they should go to school today. How are they going to do that mobilization for their wars to go? In the end, you increase their pressure and they die and leave the children. If you are not lucky and 2 of your children are going to school around this time, Jesus and they pile this pressure on you, and I've seen people die simply because they cannot pay for their wars fees. Look, even baby over school, no, baby over school in the United States of America, no, you give parents time after you offer them admission. You don't give them 6 days. And it is no brainer to say that you have given us 6 days as compared to 5 days the other time. If those parents could struggle within 5 days, you have not asked, were all parents able to send their wards to school within the 5 days? But the worst thing is this. What's school for no baba fee in January, in March. In March. Until the whole of this week, parents will be forcing their wards to go to school, right? By the time they finish everything, no, they are coming back on the 21st of December. Until some of them will spend less than 8 days in the school, less than 1 week. I think they are not mabafie. They have exhausted what they have taken. Parents will now have to go and remobilize. Ebimu, they don't have parents. In my Ebimu need parents. And is struggling by whatever means to go to school. So why don't you listen to the wisdom from the Speaker of Parliament? Say, Dabio, o say, move be school in January 3rd. And yes, sir. So within this period, no, awufo monfa eno enye mobilization, so that by 1st January, 2nd January, you go to school and you can decide to extend the your friend saying vacation or reduce the vacation for that period by 2 weeks. Rushing everybody to go there. Bobie, I don't think that this is right. We live in an economy that the president nankasa jie to say economy no wase no. The minister for education no etiasie say near econo emfata. Look, President Mills enoka fancy bi or say yeye nia ehia Ansah na yeye nia efata. In this instant no dear ne ehia yang, and we should be courageous to do it in that manner. Ebitimi aboyan. I think that the Minister for Education should not just be allowed on the floor of Parliament to just make that statement and walk back. They should quiz him and ambisa the needed questions. Ebitimi abwa awo for any manner omobabeko school no. I think that it is better to reduce their vacation period than to compel them to go to school this morning. Bibrino omuntimi enko.
Anyway, Uncle Rex, after listening to a year educhum,
Kwabena, my name is the minister educhum. But sometimes, you know, some of your technocrats now, mo anhwe ya obeka se ye wo efie nyansa ene wo school nyansa ase ne sen the motive behind the so-called free SHS in anything said the beya a hiafo mobrofo a ni bie no omo so mabetumi akọ school no mo ho han wo mo sabi impressed ya same ade a kire madwene ne se obeba be ade na asem no kan etu nwonran na the same secondary school na ye kono ebinom prospectus you different from ebinom na omo be ko school akodi se na otwe mienu no masa ba fie abetena fie ansa no masa akobie na so what is the sense in say ohia ni a oni se bia fe na akopɛ bi ade ya mo se ye free so ansa anye free obi asende ama me sesi a say 2 years ago the first born equal secondary school was spend almost 7,000 Ghana cedis and they are the second born I can't say team we ho or spend almost 9,000 Ghana cedis. Na ye koya ana ye buy Ghana for do say the so called here for na ye see ye free education man cover omo no. E mo do say na wo say sika we. Prospectus nko sika no.
E dey sika mai.
Na sabi impressed ya say ye ade a ye dwene Ghana for practically ye hwe economy ya etimu ya. Na sabi we see we release the prospectus. Now within 4 days now release the prospectus na no. Enkrofo emfa mo manko school.
I say 28th November. 28th November see.
28th November, that was just Friday.
Yes.
Naturally not Friday.
No, Thursday.
Thursday. It was Thursday. Wednesday Krana say we say Enra na say no so
Thursday, Friday was a holiday.
Yeah.
Friday was first.
It was a holiday.
Then Saturday, Sunday is not the working days.
Yes. So sabi o say we obi sometimes I nim enkrofo a omo dwene emma sa enema happen because so do I need to from the simple common sense a woman say oh okay say sabi o nkwala yi be ko school yi so omo konoma ba fie ya mom holiday no ma betena fie bosome miensa eni ade nti na bosome miensa nkra ye ntwa so nya na bosome mienu ne fa na instead of say mo rush omo so mo ko school 2 weeks na one time mra no yam fam parents no ho ham no fam mo aboa omo ho. These are simple things but sabi oh nipa da se ni say ye nya ati yie koduru ba bia ye fi say sa na obi a te it na ye defeat the purpose na ye say enu nti ye free education no. First and foremost time amokofa aside we buy ade nya ade na ye bibi foforo bi amona makofa ba constitution mu constitution can say ye nya ne progressively that say ye nya ne kakra. That is the reason why Jomama time no or started say OC community schools that be ameka sa same way when they were yeremoti chamber hall mobile baako eti mum ye no mo da mo bedroom na mo ba na da hall bo de empa bia sikona na mo ba na da hall ho ana mawo baako aka ho mo pese mo expand mo family common sense about mo tiri say yempe a bigger place so that ya baako ka ho a enkwara no so benya mo dan. That is a common sensical way of thinking. It is our educational system now say we per se we ye be free now ma kwan e ma nipa dodo na anya kwan ko school ni bia de ba wadwene mu first means school dan ni bebre nya obia na o ska odene baba ko boarding na menya the community day school so that nipa community ni mu na otena no because the essence of this whole thing is akwara ni benya education. It yensi secondary school na day school no communities no eti baby otia na obeko school hwa ansana ye kwa yenim no ya ye kakran say ye be as a project so within in the next 10 years no ye be make sure say all SHS nyina e be ye free by then no ne atumi asisi school adan ni bebre akufo do ne ba obi aba no mbeto gu ye because of political expediency. I don't make any album free SHS free and on the dry as susa any ene. Says you might reduce the quality of your education. You might bassa. The so-called here for an same way na a support wo no abeye sese abeji nsem na ye koya na ye bai oh eti no sa oman mu na ye te no enkrofo anka nipa bia ukọ school a ukosua nwoma o de beboa wo man ba Ghana nkoa de ye nkrofo no makọ school akosua nwoma na ye mo positions so mfa meboa wo man no omba no mabetete ne ma pansam no ma ne basa troka because they don't care. At the end of the day, nobody is responsible for anything, nobody is questioned for anything. Eti eba ne send minister no oni ne nkrofo antumi ama o ma dwene mu se sadie we aye ebe ha parents.
But utie ne explanation here. Also omokra boa parents.
Oh, kwa be so.
But you heard him.
Anytime make say ofie nyansa, anya wo school nyansa. And did I make us no?
All right, Papa ni Amate says in the public schools, i.e., government schools, tuition fees does not exist. No one pays tuition fees. So that alone makes education free. Parents pay for boarding user fees and feeding as well in the boarding facilities. The PTA also supports, but the current admin made it totally free.
Yeah, some of these things. If you have some people that will always hail worship this kind of nyoma ekoswa. Na omoma the word progress now it becomes a very difficult thing to attain. Why didn't Akufo-Addo go out to tell the world that maybe a free tuition and until Montuabama? Because when we talk about SHS, it's not about just tuition. And Sako and Saba. So Koba said, you see, yeah, education. Send Akufo-Addo yeni. Akufo-Addo no go school free to university. During their time, Kwabena, especially Omo call Legone, they can tell you a story about how they were pampered. And maybe by Omo call some Kudidi, Kwabena, instead of chicken, no, they were giving eggs. Omoko strike. A year demonstration. The vandals had to vandalize. You can ask all those who are Akufo-Addo's age. I think the last batch was, they should be now between the ages of 69 to say 64 thereabout. That should be that age group. Omoko University for free. And they were even offered cigarettes just to feel pampered. Say me best school. This is how education then was like, Cabra. And one of them becomes president, and this is what he can give, especially after he has promised, say Obama, free SHS. Cabra. Sad and very worrying. Now, sometimes I could say, discuss some of the issues. Who say unim nyansa change the course one. You end up feeling insulted, or your comments are very insulting. Analyzing the issues, Kwarabusa who say prospectors assembly about late. Just less a week into time. You say parents should buy all these stuffs. Parents who cannot afford man be dem go school. Yeah, cause the same way losing sight of Kwabena and Kwalani Biwa like Bernard discussed, no. ne maame ton bidie
ya
oda kiosk mu o kan na mani atete
and it is true that is our
Sakios na odemu no ne ba no eda ne nkyɛn na okɔ school on kran ha she won't be bothered much because ne ba no obeton bidie na wonyeska daily e de amana ko school aba but Kwabena to get that figure no to send akola no in fact say your man boarding kra na say onko da free wo boarding house kra na enye ya o enye ya pi Kwabena de be ma mekwa akoni krom ni say ahwe aje so sa ko han dan akola no sa akola ni oba yenim de betimi asie oye bema yenim de betimi asie ene the rate at which enkwala eye deviance Kwabena akosoro che kane no akola no ne timpo a wotia no ne kosi isen ana wotene no ne kosi isen na sei no wonye under your caretakership aduane a enkola ni di wo school mu se wakoda wako boarding no aduane a odi wo school mu no Kwabena ne papa mu ne san ene Ghana ni parent na se tene mu te san na sabi luchi wadidi amen we ogira ho okekan o express na sif say parents nyina ya kronfo awie sika te said yoko wie sika ma ye koche no na onam a wo hwehwe nkofo am o defend omo no se na po na de ekrono ato ne so asu sika wawia na adweye ne say the way wo ye kronfo a wanya sika no wanya ne ho twom no sa na parent bia so ayden enya ne ho twom. Kwabena, look at the story I read. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And look at, it's a GNA story.
That was the hostel.
Peace FM
hostel
sourced, yes. Peace FM sourced GNA. And as at that time, their complaint was that 500 Ghana cedis prospectus no boarding. That's 2017.
That's accommodation issues.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay. Never anyway. And look right away. Where a you
hostel
another scholarship secretariat edin kwofo akwako gu amanone so muko school Kwabena, every month they are supposed to be paid £1,200 so more landing no
per head
and more outside landing no per head I will see a £1,020 18 months ni say omo rent obi antimi ntua ene ye pam omo Kingsley Ajiman me nua Kingsley boni a ono so te scholarship secretariat odi no unim sika no aban de mana no ono diskana koto bank after so many months no wagigi hu enchobo adi awie no ansa no akotua ebi musika kra kem 18 months
yare no de good to
18 months
yes omo ankrofo no ekofa friends boss omo kofa load no a inse so omo de kwa omo beba betua no na se bia memenim nana list we yeminu amene nenam list aba be fa e bia infan say 30,000 metric tons right na ehun scan say 500,000 Ghana and dollars na obona ni achem se chelema mfa na ada mu kakra. Oh yes. Ade amoto omo ya. Omo ya everywhere.
Oh, na Kingsley asem no. The way why am na yehu kra no Kwabena. We dey me can education ho asem. Nti
yes,
hwe students na ekọ no. The promises ya ode ma omo. Kwabena obi ani ho no mo ti Ghana ha. Sabi wenya scholarship a o kwa manoni akosua de a. Owo bibi ewo ne ho a obekwa akọje scholarship. Yes. Na po ko suku akọje scholarship wo joma ma pre so no. No ni ka pre. No ni botom. Oni ka pre obi anim baabi a na corridors ani ehia napo onim onika pre onam kumase onyina onika pre ene na napo se manto nwom frɛ no napo obi anim o a onika pre obom kwaji scholarship ni nyina sa time omumpo no ye members of parliament o. So you can ask yourself obi a ono sebio oje dama tu sere watu kwan akọ amanone obi manso ebi kura mene o kasei obi a o text me amene ne ye yi wo yare po I was so forced unu say mo be 20 hours to go jobbing what you say 20 hours adwuma na awokoye no so wotum 1 hour kura na akwabna otimi ntua
school fees
ne rent ne bills ebinum landlords apamomo ebimu peche na abroche kwabena se wo de wonim se ne abroche asemte wo kɔ peche na wo peche yembokura ya atwe ano abia so na wo kɔ peche ne sika no so Kingsley to Kingsley kura de we was ya criminal kura de medwe ho a obi eni wo de ne ho aba akufo do wa ni papa pada o ye criminal ankasa scholarship secretariat wo boni udi se oni ayi akwa no amwatia oni amwatia ne di sa boni no amwatia ofori penyi efie amwatia sa fie mu ho boni kwa no oni omudie eno ota na chi na amu aguso kofo sika o se omu nyina ye stranded 18 months to the kikabom udi the oje £1,020 no crampo no for 18 months saying let's can shout. So really for me who say education ministry, finance ministry and scholarship secretariat, if they don't pay attention to their ecoswa manonena yet a hard man ya call for ya home the tosu biem obi ehun se education minister anioma okekan nyansa bia nim me de mesra wofo senke ye frɛ omo na nkom beba enka ewo se ye ne arise Ghana mpanifo wa ha die ye kota o machi ne ye tinte su kokko kira ban na e ma ban hu se de ekoso no nya de promise Ghana fo no because kwabna sisi ye ka sei ya nkwanko boa wofo anyina wo machi achigina pa sene okay ewu na ye de tata wo mu no because say kwabra obi a wo pressure kanina no mo say awofo ntimi nko MP fie biem enko salai enko je sika no say wa nko MP wa bede no when sika akoto o prospectus are we not back to square zero kanina no mo say we ye MP a say free SHS nti obi a mesala wo fie biem no you say he fa no mo nko beba me ho nti no mesre awofo no omo entinte su kokko kakra entra ban.
I'll come back. Akia Akosomo Nyantechiwa on Facebook says listo a trooper. Some have been sacked from the accommodation and are stranded in London. Okay. So some of the issues I'll send him, we have this yes, but I'll say accommodations are now pursuing hostel fee payments through third-party collections. I must emphasize that the imminent Zoom meeting you are organizing seems redundant when the core issue remains unaddressed, the prolonged delay in stipend payments. Rather than orchestrating meetings that offer no concrete solutions, I implore you to take immediate action by disbursing our stipends in full. This will allow us to settle our outstanding hostel fees directly with the school, averting any complications arising from third-party involvement. Let me be unequivocal. The Ghana Scholarship Secretariat is not bestowing a favor upon us by disbursing our stipends. It is fully a commitment made over 2 years ago. The primitive delays and lack of proactive measures are not only unacceptable, but are actively causing harm to the academic pursuits and well-being of scholarship recipients. So this one is from a student to Nkrofo, right?
Yes.
Anna Mebwa.
Yes. To the UK, and a friend is omu school heads no.
Anyway, okay, all right. So quick one. Hello.
Hello, boss.
Your friend say.
Your friend Wali side.
Who are you for side?
Fadama.
Who Fadama?
Chief Limama.
Kai, what for 500 or form?
My fan form, that's it.
What for the form? What for the form? Fadama, they say a fee. Fadama, a fee. What for the form? What for the form? Kosua ne twasi am just catch a dear. On say Christmas, ye chesa. Why? In the Kosua. Edem Trudeau. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Congrats. Make our man for say me check last our man for numbers nema buy no edem 500. We are last hour *413#. Mo mu be di last no. Me dem kwa wie. I'll be back. No replay.
Yari ntimiu sese die amanfo dodo no na di imbusaba mesha dodo ho adanse yese enyarewa horo anipa enyina etimi ba ne so ene nyarewa kese nkaye a wuti ne din ene ho ka na oyemu ahyew nyina no ebo ye ho ban afiri ho enna wo mpo a omo wo nyarewa ne dada na omo nom doctor enuro no ennom imbusaba mesha no a emo mo ahoden pintin ya wo mo ntimpo se yare ehye omo ho imbusaba mesha ewo kanshi eni o maimu babia yeton enuro etufo mfre 0246 208496 FDA ahihye se adwade nkrato yi magye atomu se ye
wosika se menkoyi ana quick credit siasia se sika pe ennafom intina yabasa ye becheche wo yembosia bonhye ye ho wutumi babosia edifi asia ye fee 1500 Ghana cedis edeko na ne wo hia ne wo national ID card wo hia se wo betu susu wo hia awowa yenjise kebia nto ho won sanso hia se woni yembe bue futuo bia quick credit wo homao say ye dwa na wo pese wudi ana wo pese wo hye ejuma foforo ase ana say ye school fees ana bo eyeye wo sumi ejuma ye fo nso ye wo bi mamo na mom kai say ye mobosia wo internet so afenso o mantika krobia batan Bank of Ghana Ansah wo dwumedie yi mu enti tutumri kana freyen wo 0302 200390 ana 0596 920833 quick credits lending made simple kai say dwumedie yi nhyehyɛ kakra wo ho
Ago Ghana for media sem dabremo sisi ade wo si dan a any coin silver hokra esanse Alu Africa we got you covered Alu Africa eye dwumako kese a eba ne nkyɛnse papa edi kru dan so any trusses a Ghana ha any wiase afa na nyina yen ye lidie yen ane topo Alu Africa ewa abakwasam adimu eba no roofing sheet any trusses say ye papa nko ade a eye honom ena obenya pa ye quality sanso ya affordable bedroom frishie aduonu nie edan ya buru 2 million ena Alu Africa ekru so what a news yen chance edi kru dan so no niema ne dimu ne se emuodu na bani diso fit 0.35 mm ekosi 0.5 mm 0.35 ekosi 0.5 Alu Africa trusses so emuodu na range fi 0.55 ekosi 1.15 enti enya afi na wudi dua kokru wuda so a very nache emfote berie Alu Africa trusses no emfote ntimenwe enre nache eye ɛyɛ good for all weather conditions ne boa so da fam ankasa sɛ ɔbɛtɔ dua paa deɛ ɛnkatɔ Alu Africa trusses na bɔkwaye breto no ho ban Alu Africa products ne nyinaa so yɛma 40 years warranty ɛmfirihyia duanan warranty hwehwɛ Alu Africa ɛwɔ Spinters kwan no so yɛne MTN office no ana di nhwɛne mu anase frɛ 0574 286292 sɛ wodo takrade so a yɛ branch ne bi wɔ hɔ frɛ yɛ wɔ 0545 446852 na adwumakuo biara wɔpɛ sɛ wɔbɛtɔ Alu Africa kwal ne bi no wɔbɛtumi walk in to your branch biara yɛbɛtɔn de ama wɔ mo na wɔde akɔde dwumadie biara Alu Africa building made exciting.
Hey, say, dear Mako, who our Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, no, me who crave me, say, and Nunti no mania award, a year word bestie, Obian Transit Emma Dumpemia, dear Casse, and as a boy, dear, and cannon to them you.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, as I want to say, near Kuro Etuno, near Anka, Ewananum, Obana, Bemo Power, and Yarwankaye.
Nancy, Mamma say, and the Spana called Ekayeno. Greenfield at Arumenty, and was our selection and also APM.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, our ultra modern laboratory. And a diagnostic machine, sir. I should share the Pedium Kasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our Nungwa Dogon, Estate Junction, last stop. Frewa 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898.
Greenfield.
God is our healer.
Greenfield.
Your last stop.
I believe.
Wabatele Accra, yeah, mommy.
All right, so that's it live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. We are back here. Top chocolate simen kanche Ghana for say opese uji brudo. Emma ayoda. Ayafa top chocolate spread ni bi FM. Woman a day a year top chocolate 3-in-1 chocolate drink na aba. Osubenya from 0243 033 033. Onsa beka womo. Oposin yedro in boost herbal mixture. I was in Numbia, name boost to a your immune system. And but for unim way no, I almost say I shall want to come 4 years. I'm not jailing 4 years. And a special prosecutor so in some no. Unfortunately, a time is shot into maybe mamma. Sabia will be a baby or then a lie befa. Angerex, Mamma Shas in Fuso.
Karame Dasi. Me start media state from a friend say special prosecutor no I shall want this one no me say 4 years in for time achi intina 4 years there man we do 15 years Kwabena ade bi koso my Ghana mo wo special prosecutor ade ya akufo adoba ya okekare nanim say ono no aba establish a friend say office of the special prosecution in asifo nyina azan they set it up just to fail. Almost setting it up, said the bay idea no, ebe faili. It we are no bia. It started from Martinamidu. Now say Martinamidu and to me, yes successful. Obi or no naturally no, near friend or a friend say citizen vigilante. One yes successful. Why be on the best successful? They will intentionally frustrate you because corruption na kasankasa wo man no adukura kufuado ne na ban no to the extent to say all state institutions has been infiltrated. The judiciary, the police itself, everywhere has been infiltrated with his corruption. There is nowhere say akufuado aban mu nipa. Now no wadi dwirim. Now so he a special prosecutor. Now I didn't see because they will do whatever it takes to make sure say they frustrate you. I say be no ade court no. Ya beto atwene baby. And all my team akufo adon kwa time court to be catch say be you we Ghana ni birth certificate cannot guarantee you as a citizen through our judicial system. Sir, National Office of Prosecution, Special Prosecution is a complete waste of our money. Complete waste. They didn't set it up to succeed. They set it up just for political friends say point scoring. Men I may buy and I'm special prosecution. And I they akwesi saying corruption na air cost wo Ghana ha dokro akufo ado aban na sefo nyina so mo ba ya mo si John Mama aban ye corrupt. How many people no met me sebe I prosecute omo through the same special prosecution. Akufo ado aban mu corruption upon corruption, scandal upon scandal air cost wo Ghana ha emu dodo say Cecilia da pa ye nyina ye ni gani
Where the TV no corruption keke.
TV like area na akwesi. Eti adam hu Kisia Jaben press conference no. The guy was virtually crying. Obia utie from ne voice out him say osu.
No, but we're giving up and I say he was crying.
No, I mean say asma o kind of say we're giving up.
Yeah, he was tired and everything.
How can we as a country nyakopon hira ye wamaye bibia including human resource wamaye bibia? How can we be so callous? Most of our leadership omonya enlightened. They are only greedy. I mean sika we are saying dodo saying na obedi. Who a lot of Ghanaians suffering. Now a lot of your young people they are running away from this country. They are going just almost just like that. Ninyina because we are taking hope away. Your young people no feel say there is no hope in this country. Of course. Now if Omaya a team, the most important thing is obenya opportunity no we sika na no here. Unya we are nothing will happen to you. That is the scenario and the system we have created. Akufo ado na ban a create. So the most important thing is how the we are ne kese. No mo mbaba be chew na de bia bribe wo because sa na Akufo ado na ban o maye. All the money o ma borrow sika do o ma borrow ni nyina na they have nothing to show no. That is what they've used the money for. Pay the very people who can prosecute you. Pay the very people who can do whatever it takes to expose you. Pay them, buy them. We are 10 cities, must spend 2 cities, their bribe will be around. I'm the kingpin. And they are doing it in such a way, say, even if some free about Ukraine, that is what they are doing.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they are doing. That is why I won't fast and Papa Bia and Kokot. A year against Ghana. A year corruption against Ghana. Kufuado nearby a committee. Now they be Kokot, Ewa Kufuado Breiso. Now so we win. Forget it. It will never happen. It's many Kisia Jabia. Come and resign. Now Kufuado no than on one who prosecutor, special prosecutor. Kwabena Mary.
Bernard. From
Aisha 1.
Yeah.
And Aisha 1.
Aisha 1. 1. C'est 2. C'est 3.
Aisha 1. Must say 4 years.
We no nya boa Akufo-Addo ma omkotwa 10 million Ghana cedis to go ball.
Oh, can I shigbe?
Can I shigbe ma?
Oh, can I shigbe? First is here Osu. Osu. But onyan soon yet. Can I shigbe Osu? But onyan soon yet. Because now saying utia na kasa. Lamentations in kwa.
They are just running away from their shame. That's all.
Lamentations. Nti ono na ote TV so yi. Say we join news.
No.
Can I ote TV so yi. And na omo chire galamsey site. Lamentations and ote ho.
Omo twa sika no. Ya yete ya kache kana sigbe say. Ken eye root Akufo-Addo ndi ba be wi sika. Also ojai omo media coordinating team o say they are following up. Omo ani city for boys ni Joy FM for boys no mkeka mbo no mtwa sika na omni kodwo opon kroma no mche sika ni die.
Na ne ebo mu nukura mpo ni say the kind of things that took place abra interministerial committee omo bae no. Onim say nipa omo ewo small scale licenses. Omo ka say obia enjoy na edwuma. Because omo si galamsey say galamsey no na only small scale license. Into omo krampo omo licenses approved by the Mineral Commission no omo si obia enjoy. Inti
no msawi we excavate.
There be anya sakrampo. You have no idea. Ko edu time bia because of the pause period no mo say obi amfa ne documents ne krata ambra na omum validate. O de kwa, you have to pay $6,000 and that's 6,000 Ghana cedis per concession. Concession be our de kono. Utuya and no the receipt in your. You pay before your documents are accepted. Into your mujiji is asikani nyina, and so they will now validate and grant you re-approval. Say ujumano and now concession no, and no
or otherwise.
You have documents, so go and do.
Or otherwise.
Yes. These monies were collected. There were no receipts. Amount for a so the extortionism. Extortionism, you can't choose say. Extortionism.
Obi ju sika se bua kwan so.
What you say?
Bukata.
Yes.
Bukata enye twi.
You know. So it is unbelievable. Into the special prosecutor has a lot of job to do. Unfortunately, Ombisa MIM mano some of these leads. What
don't do it.
Nka Obisa some of these leads no obetimi anya lot of information to prosecute. Anyway, Aisha Huang Obi Amosi was say a forest. 4 years.
How many years on the Ghana for name?
Dabi was saying your forest, was say yensuo. Was say bibia amayang. Uncle demo 4 years. But 4 years no crampo by the standard of Osafo Mafuno is extremely too much. Because Osafo Mafu e catch them and say, na mosi yanchi Chinese ninkotumu. Abria China for no mo maye. Sino hydro projects in Quine Bebre aye baba no. Aquine. And quine ye. Okay, soup no. Yeah, soup no be yet. Aquine Bebre aye baba no. Any the infrastructure government de baba in China for no MNT or more.
Okay, in Okmensa see a friend Apubo.
So evidently, China for a bit me aba say, yes, I say, bet me I say yensu, bet me I boni be I say among ya. Na amonko free. Na court, 8 me jina no amano 4 years. Na me ma bet na ha ka say, and also because Ghana ni no a ye kwachiri no. Bura mo be buru ansa na mo di wa police station ansa na obeduru court no. Anya de kitwa. Bagana ne boni bia wa ye ne se aban entimi ama na ejuma enti wawie ni university wawie ni polytechnic wawie ni course of study onye ejuma no okope bibi kakra ni master students omo ho omo nya kakra then they will come and continue their education. All they want is an opportunity to survive. Na ye kwachiri omo aburo aye bro omo no na ye kwachiri Chinese one ye ne omo adane partners na ye age omo sika. Then we protect them. And it's still going on. And that is the situation. In Ghana for the under this regime, we are still colonized. We are colonized by ourselves and by our leaders. I feel very, very that. Look, this is a pathetic judgment. But say okay, peace FM for now mokoburo mono. Okay. How many? What was the charge? I say na omuma omutuaye.
2,400.
Peace FM for na omukobo yom no. Omu yes, omu si omutua say. 2,000. Abra omukobu obi office o. Invasion of Nipa office no court no etimi ka say omu 2,000 na omutua. Enti omu kono na omu di omu 2,000 ekoy omu ko gina ho na omutuaye. And then
now judges a friend say your friend say Delta Force so one etumi bowra court obra judge ediasem a pregnant judge a ransake court no so same way enka yasem anka say test case it is set example it didn't happen here nothing
and omoko no na omunim sikana yeso muti omo bia na omo gina ho ona mutu akede da Japan na etu ama omo
Akufo-Addo Aban was the most reckless government ever since independence. Very reckless, lawless. They don't give a damn about anything. Almost all my lawyers. And so, lawless lawyers. Embrana constitution, they don't respect it. They don't care. A crime beyond Belfast will be achieved. Almost selfish aims. That's what they are doing. Sabi, I shall wine politicians here. On one the town, on one the Tanachi. What do you need? Part of 4 years, sir. Actually, 2 years. 2 years, 2 months. Or out. The best surprise of class 4 years. So one Bob trumpet 4 years. So I'm going to go to one after back door. Hey, you know who knows?
Oh, that did not say I know the year who baby. Oh, yeah, cause one lawyer be. Then we had a party difficulty, and yachi no go to cells. The police said they have locked him up. Only say lawyer never catch her and say one no under her. And you may know, Omudi no coffee no could die, and no pen no more coffee and buy.
I say I publish up a news. Oh, be a white mono. Oh, yeah, they are Shawanga tomb 4 years.
So
clearly, how many people will know that or them?
So clearly, some of the verdict of our courts undermine the belief and strength. Say, oh, yeah, Bonia, you suffer the penalty for it. Dabi, oh, yeah, Bonia. Until all the things I shall want, there's no seizure of access.
No.
What do you say? There's no seizure of access. There's no, your friend saying, collection of license to operate any Nyama. The illegal entry and exit now, or Ghana. The falsification of Nidin, any Bibiano, in Kagana ni and Oye Seya. Okay, judge now, Obisa say, na call is that, oh, yeah, your passport. Oh, yeah, then no two quino. You remember?
They say, how many years?
But Obit me ba, on your Ghana ni.
How many years?
Deported and came back to the country.
How many years? Nana ye nina ye nim sa asha wang oni Ghana ha. Answer no chukruma. Are we saying sending security agencies no money mana? The politicians who have always been behind her. Now you omu nim sa asha wang go krum ha.
Define the politician.
The MPP politicians. MPP politicians are some making. No nim so krum ma say no. Until at the end of the year, on my way now team no. The country has been hijacked by some criminal gang.
Anyway,
so finally, Mamenka say ask for special prosecutor there. Esuya osui. Mentiasio. Mentiasio one bit. Because Martinami do catch reo. And would you need an attempt? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Special prosecutor did Martin Midu atem. Kandapa Ebe can say more courtsy. The way you are always unanimous in your verdict, Edema Abino. Emma a man for any NG. And that your rulings are a threat to the security and democracy of this country. Kandapa can you? Manjian to Yenina Yetiha. The president is appointing cronies into an institution independent minded. How many judges has the president appointed into the High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court this year? You are counting only the Supreme Court. But Uko High Court now,
they are in hundreds.
They are almost 500. You know, and these people are the people that will be promoted into the Court of Appeal and by extension to the Supreme Court. In Tinipano Akufo-Addo all the time appointed judges, appointment of judges, no Omududwano, Omuye card-bearing members of the New Patriotic Party. Is that not a concern for you, the special prosecutor? If you don't see this as an area to say, Mr. President, to me na yedi amaono o ya broso, you will have this kind of calamity in our hands. Debia Meka, and our parliament should listen and listen carefully. Democracy is called democracy because there is parliament. As for judiciary, no matter how bad it is, under military regime, the judiciary exists. The executive, no matter how corrupt they are, under the military regime, no, it still exists. Where is Parliament?
It's dissolved.
Now, more parliamentarians, yeah. Some of you prefer to be taking side from those who are in government and stealing more. Na enokurenu mundi ewa Parliament. Go and approve the budget. And then let us all be in this mess. Special prosecutor. Where the menu swa.
Lizzo. All right, in a brief, I think special prosecutor assembly there. I rather will tell a story about how I think every Ghanaian must rise up and put our shoulders to the wheel to support him instead. Because yes, he may have gone wrong in the past. He's not still sitting in his shit. I'm saying he has awoken himself from the slumber. And to say a lot of lamentation. I think we must all help him redeem our nation from baby ejinai. And God so at baby out there, I think we would have all come criticizing him. And no more back no. He described who Akufo-Addo is, and I think if you are very meticulous in reading what he read, and I say listening to him, you would see why he is frustrated about the happenings, and knowing that we have a menace like corruption and thievery and all that, which has become the bane of our progress. I would rather suggest say one na yeneno enko omo makase nke by now also resign. I disagree with them. Matiami do adore resign. Me who say he was resigning not in the interest of this country. Obi te said dom level a omo pamuni senka dom level ewo hwa, and I'm sure say a lot of the things would have been corrected. But some more resign, more preachers on resign there. Not just say more try to institutionalize the rots of society or ills of society. And what's that here? Always say
but you have been preaching said those who feel say system being ya or move they should just resign if they cannot help them fix it.
No, it's not about. For example, Obi to say Baumia or say your money requirement in Jumano. And I don't see the reason why he will still be in the government. That does not allow him to. No, I'm not saying that in respect of special prosecutor, because he is willing to work. Senkwakana want to say a Jumana or yeno. Ebia or yana diodium sa. But we know or say how judiciary the preachy about the judiciary in him says the worst of its kind in the world or boy me yes you have to munchinia and then be na stand that be me who say unicolendi abedane judiciary PRO and as or I'm a former lawyer, I respect him, but in fact me who say na adwuma na oye no enkosi baby a me yesika in the no am a lawyer think of an lawyer so you judge or justice of the Supreme Court. Yoni Kolendi no e kan hu bi na judiciary aye bad sir, because if you make a judgment say a referee can be a voter or a player, say akwawe case and Yoni Kolendi na a single-handed law trust judgment Jofu koye speaker ekotena na kunye mo to aba no.
Yeah.
And on if you bring such a judgment, how do you want me to respect the judiciary? It's like telling me that a referee can be a player. I've been issue is stupidity. And I don't have to say sorry for anything, because one person you have sold your conscience to a me kase kisia jaben. He could not be so blunt like I would be blunt to say the judiciary is suffering from A or B. What must I say? But one can anuntum. What must I say? people rather will come to say Baumia and Timmy Juma because ye money in Juma. Sabaumia and Casaba, no Becase, ye mammy Juma. I will go and support him, but Kise Jabendiano, Yanko supportuna. Democracy no position near their man, ye masters, and omoye servants. We masters must be prescriptive as to how we want our servants to work. When a servant complains, the master must rise up to the occasion to support the servant who is working in the interest of the servant. And that is why... I mean, question back.
Obia organa ha na ni da from bia nim say Akufo-Addo Aban has deliberately infiltrated into the judiciary and has corrupted it.
Yes.
And that is why they are deliberately frustrating the special prosecutor.
Yeah.
How do you solve such a problem?
You solve it by also encouraging him to speak more, to dent the image of Akufo-Addo. The whole world has now heard a scorecard that will trauma Akufo-Addo. So why must I tell him to resign? Or resign and Akufo-Addo Kofu be banned over here worshipuna. It's cause 90. And I must encourage him to speak more. What must I say? Akufo-Addo atsima de bia betena studio kafa ne hui ana kisi ja bia betu munchini na se me ba na so kisi resign or resign e tena ho na beka Akufo-Addo ho asima menya bia ka meanwhile obi aso nim se ade aye ka da bia no eno a na kisi ja bia beka
asamba na kisi ja ben kai so different from Martin Amidu
any different,
that's all.
No, but I'm saying Martin resign or resign.
That's all.
What?
W.
Where obia
Kisiaja ben asem no emphasize exactly what Martin Amidu was communicating.
Yes.
Now when resign ke be da ma Jabin so ba we de Jabin your omo
nipa.
So you see
it's sometimes ukofa obia wono de onte say Jabin.
Obeda go for obia Jabin ba ye nyina anka say Jabin be adwuma mo.
Kwabena say me amongst the many lots I was the odd one out defending the Jabin.
Not initially.
Initially, yes, I
believe we
no, not initially. Kwabena, I raised
not
questions.
Initial stages.
No, Kwabena, initially I did because I remember vividly sitting here. Say, me say, yes, meaning say, oh yeah, Gabi nipa.
And we all say dada no.
No,
Kwabena, I believe Kwabena. I believe say.
No, I remember say.
Kwabena, I believe.
Initially, no. Ye nyina can say, oh yeah, Gabi adamfo. And so omo ba be any puppet me boa ena me sa kan say na susu kisi Jabin usuku akọ Gabi nkobi. I remember I even played the video last week krana Miami.
That was aftermath.
No, it's not, because Kwabena, I had been speaking to Obia Oye Kisi Jabin student. Why is the student by a lawyer? And all catch me say Kisi Jabin is not a pushover. And me catch because okay, yeah. The first timer you better studio your boy Kisi Jabin din. And me can say Martin Amidu na or resign you know. I had problems with him because according to say oba ye no ano obe attack NDC for. And okofa onu aba.
Time is up. Unfortunately, time. Yeah. Okay, 2 minutes to 6. So, yeah.
Say momie mo Kisi Jabin echidom. Na onyere ne ho na lamentations no.
All right, so one quick Greenfield sorry. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic and Bright Soldier capsules and a Bright Garlic Plus capsule is here. Quick credits men can show say omugusua ema eye bosia na se upebia tutumike na ebra. Judy Bensa has a different opinion. Martin Amidu has been exonerated. Another person feels like, okay, so Martin should have stayed on a Facebook page, and it has become a conversation there. All right, thank you so much, Bernard Bona, and I say, Minia corrects, and thank you so much, Liswa Kusi Poku. Your friend Bobie Ansah, I'm done, I'm out. Enjoy your evening.